A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Get this and get it straight. Crime is a sucker's road, and those who travel it wind up in the gutter, the prison, or the grave. They dressed in red, white, and blue and jumped from an ancient biplane at 3,500 feet. Twice a day, every day, and nobody worried. Until $5 million went along just for the laughs, and death went along for the ride.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character in The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Moore starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Birds on the Wing.
It had been the kind of quiet, worthless week that speaks well for human beings and their relations with one another, but doesn't do much for a private detective's bank balance. So when at exactly noon, a telephone call had jerked me out of Chandler's new novel, The Little Sister, and a voice edged with anxiety had dangled $100 worth of negotiable bait my way, I had snapped at it. But then I wondered if I'd done the right thing, because it had been my Mus Hattie Pembroke, guardian of the millionaire thrill-seeking screwball Page Pembroke. And now, an hour later, I left the sunlight and felt my way into the gloom of the carefully tucked-away Hollywood bar, where she had suggested we meet. When I could see again, I spotted her at a corner table. That the old girl would be the other side of 50 and doing a little too much to disguise it, I had expected. But that she would be drinking her whiskey neat, I hadn't. When I approached her and introduced myself,
Mr. Marlowe,
she started to come right to the point,
know,
but didn't quite make it.
Oh, how rude of me. I'm sorry. You're probably dying for a drink. Oh, waiter.
Well, frankly, no, Miss Pembroke. I'm not exactly dying.
No. I know you men in your early afternoon appetite for a friendly drink. There's no harm in it. Matter of fact, I've already had a small drink myself.
No fooling.
Oh, waiter, this gentleman's order, please.
Yes, ma'am. What'll be, sir?
Scotch and soda, if the lady will join me.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Really?
Well, all right. It's Scotch for me, too, waiter. Johnny Walker.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Marlowe, let's get down to business. Have you ever been to Oxnard, California?
Uh-huh.
Good, because that's where my nephew is. Also, it's where the Calumet Valley County Fair is being held.
Really?
Whatever that may be. Most important, it's where you can probably find out what kind of trouble Page is in. You see, the poor boy is...
Down to his last $5 million. No, I'm sorry, Miss Pembroke. I don't think I want the job after all.
Now, one moment. Why not?
Well, frankly, I hope you'll excuse the reference to actual living persons, but your polo-playing, motorboat racing daredevil nephew is a jerk.
I know. Page Pembroke III is an unmitigated ass, a virile egomaniac, an idiot who's never done an honest day's work in his life. Wait, where is that drink?
Right here, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Now, Mr. Marlowe, sit down and drink your drink. When I referred to my nephew as a poor boy in trouble, I was only trying to avoid saying all this.
Oh.
Your health, sir?
Yes. Well, my health.
Now, your next question. Since I obviously share your sentiments about my nephew, why all this concern over him, correct?
Close.
Right. I want to help Page Pembroke, Mr. Marlowe, because it's my job. My, shall I say, bread and butter?
All right, say it.
You see, I'm executor of his estate, which my brother, Page's father, left for him. Well, as such, I get $20,000 a year until Page is 35, another 6 years. But if Page should die, disappear, or be committed to any kind of a public institution... Before then, the entire estate goes to charity, and I go find another job.
And specialized jobs like handling $5 million estates are hard to come by these days, huh?
Now, Mr. Marlowe, this letter here is all you have to go on. It was postmarked last night from Oxnard. Read it.
Oh. If you want your precious nephew to keep on being healthy, you better come and get him at once. The three of us had a nice little act going here at the Calumet Valley County Fair before he joined us just for laughs. We intend to have a nice little act going after he's gone. And one way or another, he's going to go. A friend, huh?
Yeah? Well, what do you think?
Oh, it's 5 to 1. It's nothing more than a woman spurned. Very young woman, Miss Pembroke. So you might be wasting $100 sending me up there.
Then you'll go. Good.
Yeah, but only because of my bank account.
Mr. Marlowe, there'll be another $100 for you if and when you get all this straightened out. Now, call me at my home, Beverly Hills. Crestview 5412.
4124?
Yes. As soon as you find out what's wrong. Mr. Marlowe.
Yes, Miss Pembroke.
On your way out, signal the waiter for me, will you please?
The ride to Oxnard was a pleasant but frustrating hour-and-a-half drive along the kind of beckoning, sun-scrubbed Pacific shoreline that always demands to know why you have to work for a living. The ride through Oxnard to the sprawling county fairgrounds located at a semi-retired airport was a fast 10 minutes. So all in all, it was a little better than 3 o'clock, and there was still a measure of boyish bounce in my stride when I started past the prize cows and plain and fancy leghorns and headed for the Midway, looking for the act Paige Pembroke had joined just for laughs. But it was 4 o'clock, and I had checked a half a dozen death-defying numbers before I was standing in front of a banner Columbus could have used for a sail. It said I was getting warm. In iridescent orange cloth on black, it read, "The Plunging Comets. Taffy Starr and Midge Maynard on wings of death with fearless Eddie Knapp at the controls. The greatest parachute act in the world, admission free. 5 and 9 p.m., north end of the Midway. Come one, come all." Yeah, this had to be it. At the north end of the Midway, just outside of a sagging, weather-peeled hangar, I found the World War I biplane that went with the Plunging Comets being mothered by a mechanic who didn't have grease on his face. And beyond that, on an inside wall of the hangar, were the parachutes used in the act, each on a separate hook, its owner's name carefully block-lettered on a card tacked above. Taffy, Midge, and Eddie. And then, scrawled in black crayon, the name I wanted most of all to see, Paige.
Lost something, mister?
The voice went with the woman and the woman with the act. At the top, there was what used to be called the boyish bob, sticking out of a white aviator's helmet circa 1918. Then a bright red leather jacket open wide at the throat. Black riding breeches, black boots. The color of hair that stuck out and said this one was Taffy.
I asked if you lost something. Have you?
Well, come to think of it, yes. 6'2", eyes are blue, and carries a big, big checkbook. Seen one around?
Maybe. Why? Who are you?
Name's Philip Marlowe, the millionaire's friend. I'm a yacht salesman. Here's my card.
Never mind your card or the very funny joke. Now, what do you really want?
Paige Pembroke before he breaks his neck in your act, or isn't he in it yet?
I don't remember. Now, your point. What is it?
A letter you could have written? A letter that says Paige is in trouble. Where is he?
Goodbye, Mr. Marlowe.
Take it easy, Wings. You wouldn't want to hold out on somebody who's only trying to help Brother Paige, would you? I mean, what reason could you possibly have? Other than $5 million you might want for your very own.
Why, you... I said goodbye.
What's the matter, Taffy? You having problems?
Yeah. This Mr. Yacht Salesman is Emmett Kingston, head of the fair's Midway. And you'd be surprised how popular he is with the concessionaries. Now where you going?
What else? Good day, Miss Taffy, Mr. Kingston. You know, sometimes it works. Lead with your chin, ride with a punch, and watch for your opening. And I figured I'd try it just that way. So 10 minutes later, when Emmett Kingston, who was carnival people from checkered vest past ornate watch fob to high-button shoes, and shaped like a bowling pin, left Taffy and started trundling down the Midway, I went after him. When he stopped in front of a lunch wagon, I stopped too. And when he went in, approached a man playing pinball machine who was maybe 5'4", and from where I stood conscious of it, I was still behind him. At the pinball machine, a stranger with a thin face that wore a nervous toothpick was also watching the little man's game.
Oh, boy, Doc, it's pitching.
So when I moved closer to the trio, my face turned away from Kingston. Nobody seemed to mind.
Hershey, jack of many trades, I see.
What? Oh, Mr. Kingston, how are you, sir?
Fine, Hershey, just fine.
800 more is jackpot, Doc. Come on.
You wanted to speak to me, Mr. Kingston?
No, Hershey, nothing important except about last night.
Last night, sir?
Yeah. You were working late for a parachute rigger, weren't you, boy? Or am I wrong to consider 2 o'clock in the morning an odd hour for you to be folding these silks?
Hey, Doc, you're going to shoot it, aren't you? Which?
Of course she is. Go on, I'll shoot for the gentleman.
Yes, sir.
Hey, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Hey, that's great. Now do that again with your last pull, Doctor.
Was there something else, Mr. Kingston?
Yes, why were you near the chutes at that hour? And don't bother denying that you were because Eddie Knapp saw you there. Well, son?
Well, I was there to double-check the riggers, Mr. Kingston. Hey, look, I'm sick and tired of Midge Maynard complaining about the way I pack her chute. It's a stupid excuse, just trying to cover the fact that she's losing her nerve.
Hey, boys, don't ignore me. Reach right for the jacket.
Shut up, you, and get going. Rosie, get this stumblebum out of here, will you?
Sure, Mr. Kingston, whatever you say.
Oh, and it's social, huh? All right, Doc, I'm going. Of my own free will, too. I could stay if I wanted to.
Hershey, you were saying?
Well, just this, Mr. Kingston. Midge Maynard and Taffy Starr fighting because of that Pembroke fellow, or because Eddie Knapp is crazy about Taffy is one thing. But bringing me and my work into it is different.
Meaning?
The parachutes Midge and Taffy use are identical. In the act, both girls jump from the plane wing at the same time. But Midge always gets scared and opens her chute sooner than Taffy. So Taffy is on the ground long before Midge. But this has nothing to do with the way I rigged the chutes, and I think
All right, Hershey. Nobody's blaming you. Say, you.
Yeah?
You wouldn't be trying to sell another yacht in here, would you?
Just waiting for the finish of an exciting pinball game. Is that all right, or is it time to call Rosie again?
No, it's quite all right. We're leaving. You try for the jackpot. Come on, Hershey. It's about time for the 5 o'clock show.
Oh, yes, Mr. Kingston.
Only 40,000 to go. Oh, it's the first time I ever hit the jackpot.
Oh, that's pretty good, Mr. Marlowe, considering that it wasn't your nickel you won on.
Oh. Now that you mention it, Mr. Pembroke, it wasn't. Which should take care of the introductions,
Yeah.
huh?
And that leaves very little.
But something.
But definitely. Marlowe, you can tell Aunt Hattie from me that at the moment I don't need a watchdog. And when and if I do, I'll go to the nearest city pound for one, not to a private detective agent.
I told myself it was foolish to slam the door on my way out. So I slammed the door on my way out. I started north down the midway toward the open stands and the 5 o'clock sharp performance of the plunging comets. When I got there, the act was already underway with the silver biplane taking off. Eddie Knapp in white at the controls, Taffy in her red jacket and parachute crouched on one wing, Midge Maynard in blue jacket and chute on the other. Then as they slowly gained altitude, High-Button Shoes himself took over the PA. They did it up well, and by the time the plane was at about 3,000 feet, every pair of eyes was riveted skyward, and an expectant hush thicker than winter fog had settled everywhere.
At 3,500 feet, the plunging comets, Taffy, Starr, and Midge Maynard with fearless Eddie Knapp at the controls. They will not open their parachutes until they are within 500 feet of the ground. Now watch. They should be ready. Yes, there they go.
Knees drawn up tight, arms close into their sides, they jumped. Specks in the sky growing bigger as they fell. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 feet, and then, from Taffy's chute cloth, long and colored, a huge flag rippling in the wind from the end of a long rope. The flag seemed to rise above her as she fell, until the slack was gone, and then suddenly her chute opened, billowing. And then Midge, another flag rippling from the end of a long rope, and then the flag drifting free. Midge's chute not open, Midge plummeting down to the hard ground. The thud slammed home all the way around, kicking hard at every stomach. A minute ago, a girl, very much alive. Now a smashed, still body. Someplace near me, a woman cried. There was a bitter, sick, sweet taste in my mouth as I headed for the hangar where I'd first met Taffy. At the moment, I figured the guy who packed the parachutes was a good man to see. When I got there, the only one present was Emmett Kingston.
Stop right there, boy, and tell me straight and fast just who you are.
Philip Marlowe, Los Angeles private detective, Mr. Kingston.
You can prove that?
Sure. Here's my business card, state license, county permit. I'm working for Paige Pembroke's aunt. She wants his nibs kept out of trouble.
Which has what to do with your being here now, Marlowe? Here at this hangar, I mean. Close to where the parachutes are kept.
I'm not sure, Kingston. I've only got a hunch. A hunch that Midge Maynard's death was no accident.
Yeah, I got more than that already, Mr. Detective. I've got proof.
Oh?
You see this flag? It's the one that came off Midge's chute. There's a long rope attached to it.
Yeah, I know. I saw the act. Pulls the chute open after the flag's flown a while, right?
Sometimes, but not tonight, Mr. Marlowe. Tonight it couldn't.
Why not? Wasn't it attached to the chute?
It was. One end to the chute release cord, the other to the base of the flag.
What went wrong?
Nothing. Nothing, Mr. Marlowe, except that the long rope on Midge's chute was cut in two by a very sharp knife.
In just a moment, the second act of Philip Marlowe. But first, Sunday nights on CBS. The biggest bargain in show business today. Skelton, Bergen, and Benny without spending a penny. Amos and Andy, Eve Arden, Corliss Archer. 4A's, 4-star entertainment. The Family Hour with its Hollywood stars and stirring dramas. The Contented Hour with its musical stars in brilliant form. Horace Heidt with his rising stars. 8 great shows heard on most of these same CBS stations every Sunday night, with the 9th, Jack Benny, being heard on them all. Hear them all this Sunday night. Now, with our star, Gerald Moore, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Birds on the Wing.
When Midge Maynard's grim accident turned out to be grimmer murder, I left Kingston and headed for a phone to call my client. Everywhere the chill of the viciously spectacular death lay like a soggy blanket. At the exposition office, I found the phone and finally got through to Hattie Pembroke. She listened up to the word murder and then, between gasps, insisted on coming out to help me. When I hung up, I turned to see that the pilot, Eddie Knapp, had been standing in the door listening. He looked sick.
What's it to you, mister?
What's what to me?
Midge, the long drop she took out there. In Pembroke. I heard you say Pembroke. What do you got to do with him?
Just a minute, fella. I'm not sure it's any of your business.
It's my business, all right. That kid gave me a big grin up there just before she jumped. And I watched her fall every inch of the way.
So did everybody else. Look, I know how you feel, Eddie.
You don't have any idea how I feel. Don't try to kid me. That mob out there loved it. That's the only reason they come to watch, the hypocritical buzzards. You got a finger in this pie, an angle all your own. I'm going to find out what it is.
Take it easy, Knapp. You're talking yourself into something real silly.
Yeah? Listen, ever since that louse Pembroke showed up here, there's been trouble brewing. Now Midge is dead. She was a friend of mine. Best friend I had.
Aren't you pulling a switch, Buster? What happened to your red-hot passion for Taffy Star?
Oh, you know she...
Come here, you jerk. Look at my arm, bus boy, and unless you want to take off with a busted wing, stand still. Now get this, Eddie. I've got no beef with you yet. In fact, we might even be on the same team because I want Pembroke out of here just as much as you do. So hold off.
Who are you?
Private detective named Marlowe. I got news for you. Midge fell because her chute was fixed. She was murdered. You heard me.
Where's Hershey? He packed the chutes. Have you talked to him?
No, I can't find him.
You mean he's run away? With that filthy half-pint
now,
psycho?
listen, for your own sake, Eddie, leave Hershey to me and the police. You know where he's staying?
No, I don't. In town someplace.
Well, didn't he ever tell you where? Come on, think, Eddie.
Well, yeah, he told me he had a buddy in town. Some guy who runs a pool hall. I didn't pay much attention.
That's enough for a starter. I'll find him. And keep a lid on your temper, Eddie. I'll see you. As I crossed the grounds to my car, I looked back once at Eddie Knapp standing in the office door, rubbing the shoulder I twisted for him. I hoped he'd stay out of circulation until I got back because the barnstorming flyer was charged up like a high-tension wire. The way he felt, there'd be sparks no matter who he touched. Taffy, Pembroke, or Lyle Hershey. But my immediate worry was the location of the lambing parachute packer, so I drove into Oxnard, found the phone booth, and went through the book calling pool parlors. I finally hit pay dirt at a joint called Pindy's.
It's 212B Street, upstairs in the back.
212B Street was an apartment, second floor rear over a boarded-up fish market. I went up the stairs to the half-open door with my hand around my .38. But the shooting part was all over. Because Lyle Hershey was crumpled in the bedroom door with the slovenly abandon that violent death always has. From the look of the puddle of blood under him, he'd been that way over an hour. I started backing out, just as someone else started up the stairs. So I flattened myself against the wall beside the kitchen door and waited.
Lyle, it's Taffy.
Come on in. Take a good look, Taffy.
What are you doing in here? Where's Lyle?
It's a great act, baby. Holds water like a duck's back.
What do you mean?
That wherever there's murder, there's also motive, and you've got it, Taffy. Lots of it.
Me? What are you talking about?
Maybe he's dead, and maybe you killed him. Keep him quiet because maybe he fouled up Midge Maynard's parachute on your orders. Consequently, he had you over a barrel.
On my orders? You're out of your mind.
And maybe you had to get Midge out of the way because you objected to Paige Pembroke and his idle millions horning into the act. Objected so strenuously that she was doing something about it, such as sending threats to his Aunt Hattie. Let's face it, baby, it fits.
But not tight enough, Marlowe.
Oh, Paige, darling.
Taffy, I got worried when you didn't come back to the car, so I decided... Don't move, Marlowe, or I'll shoot.
Pembroke, if you got any sense in that gold-plated skull of
I'll
yours...
show it, Marlowe. I stood outside and listened to enough of your crackpot theories to know you're nuts. I don't need any advice from you at this point, so keep your long nose out of my business.
Now listen, you half-brained dope.
You just stand there like a good little boy. Taffy and I are leaving, and don't try to follow too fast. Go on, Taffy, outside. I'll follow you. So long, detective.
I let him go. Spent 20 useless minutes searching the almost bare apartment for any kind of an answer, but came up with nothing. Hershey's body at my feet convinced me there was nothing in Oxnard for Marlowe. And the sooner I dumped the whole mess into the laps of local law and order, the better. So I kicked out the 10-cent lock on the flimsy door and went down the stairs. I cut through an alley to the street and started across to where my car was parked. And I was bracketed by a pair of headlights on a sleek Nash convertible.
Hey there, Marlowe. Marlowe, what you doing here, boy?
Nothing. Even that's an exaggeration, Kingston. What about you? I thought you had a show tonight.
I certainly do, but the police don't give a hoot about that, boy.
No.
They insisted that I bring the rest of Midge Maynard's parachute harness in for investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Get in, come along, will you, son? Maybe you can help me out.
Okay. I want to see the police myself. Oh, is this Midge's stuff here?
That's it. Don't mind holding it, do you?
No.
You know, this waste of time, boy. All they have to do is pick up Lyle Hershey and they'll get all the answers.
They'll have to pick him up, all right, but he'll give them problems, not answers, Mr. Kingston. Lyle Hershey's dead. He was murdered.
You say Lyle...
Yeah, I just came from his place. Somebody shot him.
Great suffering sardines. Well, that means there's another killer. And still on the loose. I knew I shouldn't let him do it.
Let who do what?
Why, Taffy's going to give an air performance tonight. They pulled me into the grounds just as I was leaving and told me that Pembroke fella's going up to Midge's place.
You mean those two showed up out there? It doesn't make sense.
Well, Pembroke's got plenty of nerve in his own chute, so I guess...
Shoot?
Yeah, he's...
Wait a minute, Kingston. Stop under that streetlight, will you?
Why, What is it, Marlowe? What are you looking at?
Sure. Red smudges on the inside of these straps. There's something wrong here, Kingston, but I can't quite peg it. Say, Kingston, what time was that performance going to start?
Why, 9 o'clock.
5 minutes and 5 miles to go. Come on, boy, turn the heap around and rump on it. We got a killer to catch. Swing out in front of the hangar, Kingston. Hurry.
It's empty. They're already out on the runway.
Yeah, there's one parachute still on the rack.
Why, that's Eddie Knapp's chute, and he never goes up without it. So who's at the controls of that plane out there?
I don't even have to guess. Teddy Knapp, all right, but he figures a suicide doesn't need a chute. Pile out, Kingston. It's as far as you go. I'm taking over from here.
What are you talking
Come on,
about?
move. Get out. They're turning around now. Okay, he's going to make us run back this way. So long, Kingston. Here he comes.
What are you doing? Come back!
I waited until there was no possible chance for a miss. Then I headed the car straight into the path of the plane, pulled the hand throttle out as far as it would go, and jumped. Thereon it was easy. The plane sort of stumbled over the car, rolled up on its nose, and stayed there. Quick work by the volunteer crash crew took care of that. A box of bandages took care of the collection of minor cuts and bruises all around, and the Oxnard police took care of Eddie Knapp. Everything had come out more or less even, except my client, Hattie Pembroke. She showed up at the finish line slightly on the bias, which no doubt was her normal late evening state. Also, she was as full of questions as an insurance adjuster.
Now, young man, I paid you a substantial sum of money for this day's work, and therefore, as your employer, I'm certainly entitled to a comprehensive report of the entire business. And I insist...
All right, Hattie, whoa. I'll run through it once more, and that's all. Now, look. First, the threatening letter you got was written by Midge Maynard because she was afraid Paige was going to break up the act. You get it? But the real screwball was Eddie Knapp. He was crazy about Taffy Star and insanely jealous when your nephew and his money showed up. Knapp decided if he couldn't have Taffy, nobody else would, because he'd kill her.
And yet Midge Maynard was the one who got killed.
You catch on quick. Knapp killed Hershey because he was afraid Hershey had seen him tampering with the chutes. You get that?
No.
No.
On second thought, Marlowe, maybe you better submit a written report tomorrow.
Yeah, with adding machine enclosed. Now, look, Hattie, it's not
Hey,
that...
Marlowe, Marlowe, Paige and I want to apologize. We treated you pretty badly tonight, and, well, you did save our lives.
Business is business.
Yeah, that's right. He was hired to do a job, dear, and he did it. I'm only interested in one thing, Marlowe. How'd you know it was Eddie Knapp?
Well, nobody had a really good motive for killing both Midge and Hershey, so when I realized the chutes had been switched, I knew Midge's murder was a mistake. From there, it was easy.
How'd you find that out, Marlowe?
From red smudges on the inside of the harness shoulder straps. Red that had to come from your leather jacket there, Taffy. The one Midge always wore was blue.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Well, Hattie, write the detective a check so he can go.
That's the best idea you've had to date, Pembroke. And include on it the price of a repair job on Kingston's car, a new tweed suit to replace this one that lost knees and elbow on the runway when I jumped. And also, don't forget the bonus you promised for keeping your job alive, Hattie.
Oh, just a minute, Marlowe.
As for you, Pembroke, the only reason I'm not filing an assault and battery charge against you is that you've got great grounds for a countersuit.
What do you mean?
This!
Bless you, my boy.
Mail me the check. Good night. Well, a few informal cups of coffee at the Oxnard Police Headquarters cut through most of the paperwork. But at that, it was after 2 when I finally picked up my car and drove the inland highway for home, past dark, quiet farms, where down-to-earth people made down-to-earth livings and slept at night. Yeah, the countryside was full of them. So it was with a real sigh of relief that I finally opened the door to my apartment and looked forward to some peace and quiet.
Hello, Mr. Marlowe.
Aren't you Gracie Allen?
Yes.
Well, how'd you get into my apartment?
Well, you see this key?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't fit, so I opened the door and walked in.
Yeah, well, that figures. What can I do for you?
Mr. Marlowe, you're a famous detective, and I think you're just the man to handle a very important case for me.
Oh, really? Well, I'd be very happy to, Gracie. What's your problem?
Well, you see, Mr. Marlowe, our sponsor won't let my husband, Sugar Throat Burns, sing on our program.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to investigate the possibilities of another radio program George can sing on.
Mm-hmm.
And then our sponsor will realize he's wonderful and let him sing on our show.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry, Gracie, and the next time you pass my house, I'll be very grateful.
Oh, thank you. And I'll be looking for you, too. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, bringing you Raymond Chandler's most famous character, star Gerald Moore, and are produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Robert Mitchell and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Lois Corbett, Rita Lynn, Don Randolph, Junius Matthews, Jack Moyles, and Jimmy Eagles. The special music is composed and conducted by Richard Orant. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
It started with a kid hawking papers on Hollywood Boulevard and moved from there to a house full of hate on a quiet street, a blonde liar on ice skates, and a corpse in a burned-out shack. And it all wound up right where it began, in the heart of the kid, on the corner.
Two music programs that make your Sunday afternoon listening a delight and a pleasure are the Symphonette and the Choraleers. The Choraleers sing popular and semi-classical songs in stirring style. The Symphonette brings you excerpts of great orchestral works. Hear the Symphonette and the Choraleers tomorrow and every Sunday, as well as Sammy Kaye's Sunday Serenade, now heard exclusively on CBS. All of these outstanding music programs are heard on most of these same CBS stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. Stay tuned now for Gangbusters, which follows immediately on most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
And now, in cooperation with police and federal law enforcement departments throughout the United States,
Waterman's Pens and Waterman's Ink present Gangbusters.
out of the foxholes of Europe, from the steaming jungle swamps of the Pacific, our men are now coming home to a new America. A wave of crime has followed every war, and we must not allow lawbreakers to tear down here at home the very ideals that our men have fought to preserve.
Tonight, Gangbusters presents the authentic inside facts about a gun moll who wanted a red dress more than anything else in the world.
And so, Louis J. Valentine, former commissioner of the largest police department in the world, takes over to interview by proxy Sheriff E.W. Biscayloose of Los Angeles County, California. Commissioner Valentine.
Sheriff Biscayloose, I know you want to start tonight's case from inside San Quentin Prison.
Yes, Commissioner Valentine. San Quentin is one of our largest and oldest penitentiaries, with steel and concrete walls 18 feet high and 3 feet thick at the bottom. They're impossible to undermine, and guards constantly patrol the top of the walls.
How many killers and criminals are there in San Quentin, Sheriff?
Some 3,500, Commissioner Valentine, or there were on the first Saturday afternoon of last October 1944, when a prisoner knocked on the door of the warden's office.
Come in.
Oh, yes, Connors?
There's a girl in the waiting room, Warden. Is she a beauty? She's sweet and young and fresh.
Oh, that must be Miss Nelson from the Red Cross to pick up my donation. Tell her to come right in, Connors.
Okay. Miss, would you come in and see the warden, please?
Won't you come over and sit down? I didn't expect you so soon. I'll have the Red Cross check made out in just a moment.
Red Cross check?
Why, yes.
I don't understand.
Aren't you Miss Nelson from the Red Cross?
No.
Oh, I see. Who are you?
Juanita Hanson.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Hanson. I was mistaken.
I was waiting for William Crane to be released.
William Crane?
Yes.
Why? You, related to Crane?
I'm his girlfriend.
Just a moment, please. Warden speaking.
William Crane is in the outer office, sir, ready to be released.
All right, Connie, send him in. Are you really William Crane's girlfriend?
Why not?
Well, William Crane is one of the toughest, most dangerous criminals in San Quentin.
But he's being released.
Yes, he served his time for the crime he was convicted of, but...
I've been waiting 5 years for him.
Miss Hanson, you've only one life. You're young, beautiful. Your whole life is before you. I'd think it over if I were you.
Hello, Warden.
Oh, come in, Crane.
Hi, kid.
Hello, Crane.
Well, Warden, looks like this is where you and me part company.
Crane, I hope I don't see you here again. Remember this. Hard work never hurt anyone.
That's what the Warden at Joliet told me before they turned me loose.
I see. Well, good luck, then.
No, I ain't shaking hands with you, Warden.
You've got a good girl there, Crane. Think it over.
The sermon through?
Yes, it's true.
Come on, kid. Let's blow.
Crane, can you imagine that warden calling me a good girl?
What do you got fixed, Juanita?
If this cab driver doesn't fall asleep, we should be there in half an hour. It's a place at Cobblestone Cabin, just north of Bakersfield. Shaky O'Leary's out of the jug. He's up there waiting.
Okay. Things are going to start popping and popping fast.
You dame done okay, Crane. We're going to be healed right with this artillery she got for us.
Let's see that 38, Shaky.
You can have the 38. Give me the sawed-off shotgun every time. There's a swell hideout, huh, Crane?
Yeah, Juanita did all right.
Imagine her putting up white lace curtains. Well, good looking herself.
You got us some good rods here, Juanita. Well, what's eating you?
There's going to be a new deal in this gang, boys.
What new deal?
What do you mean, Juanita?
This time, you're doing as I say.
What?
I'm laying the plan.
Oh, no, there ain't no woman telling me what to do. I've been in this game too long.
And you ended up in San Quentin, Shaky. And Crane...
Now, wait a minute.
I've been waiting 5 years, Crane. I'm young. I've got a right to live and be happy. Have money, attention, good clothes. I haven't gone places. I've been waiting for you to get out of the penitentiary. Well, now you're out. I want the things I've been dreaming of. You both tried your ways, and the cops got you, put you behind bars. But not this time. I've got everything planned. We'll have everything, but no more penitentiaries.
I don't know, but maybe she's got something, Shaky.
Well, maybe. Maybe.
It's a new deal, boys. A new deal. From now on.
To all cruising police cars, Farmington Hotel, 3974 Wilshire Boulevard, just robbed by 2 gunmen and beautiful girl. Man just held up by 2 gunmen at 1516 Sunset Boulevard. Third holdup by these gunmen today. Emergency. Grocer on Breed Avenue just held up at gunpoint. Large sum of money taken. Girl driving black sedan. Warning. These gunmen are heavily armed.
What are you pulling up here for, Juanita?
I've got another job lined up across the street.
Hey, not bad. The bank over there. Got it all cased, huh?
Well, no, not exactly.
You can't knock over a bank, kid, unless you've cased it, know how everything is.
But it's not the bank.
Not the bank?
Huh?
But there's no other place over there, just that little cleaning store.
I know. That's the place I've got picked out for us. What? You nuts?
You're not figuring for us to take over that little joint, Juanita.
Crane, you don't understand good planning. You see, you all need different clothes. The cops are giving out descriptions of what you're wearing. Now, you can't go out and buy clothes. You'd be recognized.
Yeah, but a cleaning store.
This time, Juanita, no.
But you've got to. You've got to.
What is this, anyhow?
For my sake, you've got to, please.
What's back of all this? Why have we got to crack that cleaning store? Come on, why have we?
I told you, Crane. I've been wanting clothes all these years I've been waiting for you. Now, I can't get out and buy any. I'd be recognized. In the window of the cleaning shop, there's a red evening dress. It's the most beautiful evening dress I ever saw. I've never had an evening dress. I've always wanted one. Red, just like that one. Oh, please, please, I've waited so long. I want that red dress.
Can you beat that?
All right, kid. We'll crack the cleaning store. We'll get us some different clothes and maybe the red dress. Come on, Shaky. Over to the cleaning store. We'll let Juanita have her.
There, we sure brought back a mess of clothes from that cleaning store.
Oh, there's the red evening dress at the bottom of the pile.
Hold on, will you? We're getting to it. Take a look at Shaky and that soup and fish.
Please, I want to see the dress.
Okay, I'll pull it out.
Oh, Crane, look at this. Oh, it's the most beautiful gown I ever saw in my life.
All right, now shut up, will you?
Oh, I love you all. It's beautiful. It's what I always dreamed of.
Don't let them skin your life.
Oh, Crane.
Oh, lay off, will you?
I'm going into the other room and get all dressed up. Then you've got to... You can take... Oh, look. Look.
Will you stop?
Look, all the way down the back. It's torn. I can't wear it. It's not...
Oh, shut up. You're getting me down.
No, I've got it, but it's no good. I just want what other people have. But nothing ever turns out right for me.
Listen, Crane, I've been wanting to talk to you about Juanita.
Yeah?
She has too much to say around here.
I know what I'm doing, Shaky. When I want your advice, I'll ask for it.
A slug between her eyes is what she needs.
I said I know what I'm doing.
Juanita's tired. She's on edge. I'll handle her all right.
Okay. Just don't wait too long.
I got my plan, Shaky. Don't worry. As long as Juanita's helping us, she stays around.
I'm telling you, Crane, a roadside stand like this, it's nothing but peanuts.
But Juanita's put her finger on a bankroll here.
He's that tall man at the far table. A big-time gambler from Denver. He's got a roll of 3,000 or 4,000.
Says who?
I sent her out alone last night. She lamped him.
I'll go out and have the car running.
Yeah, look at your dame, Crane. She's got the jitters worse than ever.
Never mind that. Okay, this is it.
All right, folks, this is a stick-up. Reach. Hold on. Pipe down over here. What do you mean? I said pipe down.
Get out of the way, you.
No.
I said get out of the way.
No.
Maybe you didn't see this rod.
Yeah, I see it. You can't bluff me.
Look, boss, that sugar ball, he's thrown it.
Why, you little... No. Make for the car, pal. Get going, Juanita. I just bumped a guy.
You killed him? No, don't say you killed him.
Get going, will you? When I got a gun, no guy is going to stand up to me. Remember that.
Crane made his getaway. Sheriff Fisk came.
Yes, Commissioner Valentine. He literally was riding at the crest. But something which Crane hadn't counted on soon took place.
And now, Commissioner Valentine, I'd like to ask you a question. Isn't it true that one of the hardest things a police officer has to learn is to spot the difference between the guilty and the innocent, between the false and the genuine?
That's right, Mr. Gardner. But modern scientific research and equipment have made it a lot easier to tell the difference.
Yes, friends, and modern research methods have also made it easy to prove the difference between one ink and another, to prove a difference that is truly amazing. For example, recent tests of nationally known inks show that Waterman's Blue Black gives you up to 6,500 extra words every time you fill your pen. Think of it, up to 6,500 more words per filling than any other nationally known ink. That means you save all the muss and bother of frequent refilling. You save time, money, and that annoying loss of thought continuity.
That's fine, Mr. Gardner. But what makes such a big difference?
Well, simple enough, Commissioner. It's because Waterman's Blue Black ink is all ink. No solvents, no dilution, no added chemicals. Every drop is packed with true ink quality, the kind that writes on and on and on. And because it's all ink, Waterman's Blue Black is second to none in resistance to air, light, time, and moisture. Suitable for all types of pens, for all kinds of paper. Leaves no blurry lines, has no unpleasant odors. So switch to Waterman's Blue Black and get just what you ask for, ink. Remember, too, that Waterman's ink comes in 7 other pleasing and distinctive colors, all in the amazingly convenient tip-fill bottle. Only 10 cents. And now back to tonight's case of William Harlan Crane and Commissioner Louis J. Valentine.
Sheriff Fisk Lewis with William Harlan Crane shooting a man and apparently riding high and wide. What was the next development in this case?
Well, it was the day after the shooting, Commissioner Valentine. A woman was sitting in a chair. The spotlight was on her face. Her whole body trembled, and she nervously clasped and unclasped her hands. Finally, she turned to the man who was quietly watching her.
Tell me, Doctor. What is it?
Young lady, you're in bad shape. Your whole nervous system. You're burned out.
What do I do?
You must have lived a pretty, unusual life.
Yes, I have.
Who do you live with?
Why, just some people.
That bruise on your face.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Yes.
Young lady, I know more about you than you think I do.
What do you mean?
I thought so.
Well, I'm going to give you some tablets for your nerves.
I've got to have something.
One of these tablets should put you to sleep, fast asleep. Take only one at a time. I'm giving you 5 extra ones, but don't use them unless you have to.
Thank you, Doctor.
When you get home, take one and hide the others so no one can get to them accidentally. Improperly taken, the tablets can be dangerous.
Yes, sir. And thank you, Doctor. Thank you. And you won't tell anyone I was here, will you?
No. Now, young lady, you've got to learn to relax. Take things easier. A lot easier. Have some fun.
I've never even been on the pier here at Long Beach before, Crane.
Keep walking, Juanita. Right after the end of the pier.
Everybody seems so happy, laughing and everything.
I'm not hearing any laughing matter. Keep walking.
I guess those two over there are in love, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what makes them so happy.
I'm nuts, I guess.
We've passed everything now. There's nothing way out at the end of the pier, Crane.
Keep walking.
Well, what are we coming out here for?
I'll tell you when we get there. Come on over here by the rail. Now lean over the rail. Put your arm around me.
Crane, you mean it?
Sure, I mean it.
Oh. Look at the moon.
I see it.
And the water.
Come closer.
Yes. I've got a confession to make, Crane.
Hmm? What's that?
I was afraid as I was walking out here with you, you might hate me and want me out of the way.
You're nuts. Come closer.
Yes.
Now lean over.
What was that?
That's why I wanted you close, like we were making love. I didn't tell you we had a little trouble in that liquor store job tonight.
Oh. What did you drop in the water?
The gun I killed the guy with.
Oh.
It's 35 feet deep out here off the pier.
So that was why you wanted me to be close to you. To make love to you. So people couldn't see you drop the murder gun.
You're getting bright, aren't you? Come on, we're leaving. Come on.
Just a few minutes.
I said we're leaving. The cops are closing up California tighter than a drum. State police, federal guys, hundreds of them. We're going back to the hideout and figure a way of getting out.
I'm going nuts, I tell you, Crane. Nuts. This hideout's bad as a cell.
Stop blowing your top, Shaky. You gotta listen to the short wave and hear what the cops are doing.
Police control cars, attention. This is Lloyd Smith, night dispatcher. You're to act upon the orders of Captain C.W. Ellison. Have your guns ready and patrol all highways. The men we are after are killers.
Yeah, they don't know where to look.
Deputy Sheriffs Thompson, Rayner, Murphy. Proceed to cobblestone cabins with riot guns and tear gas bombs.
Run to our cabin hideout. We can't beat it for there.
Crane, I can't take it when like rats in a trap. Who's that? I'll tell you how.
Tell me, Juanita.
What's the latest police report?
You got it trapped in, all right.
It's your fault, Juanita. We're in this jam.
Shut up, will you, Shaky? Juanita, I saw that box you had the sleeping pills in the doctor gave you. It was on a washbowl.
Yes.
It was empty.
Yes, the doctor said they'd be good for my nerves.
All of them at one time?
Yes, that's the way I was supposed to take them.
Huh.
They were all different kinds, and I had to take them all together for them to do any good.
KQBV, KQBV.
Hey, it's a secret code. They're going to ring.
KQBV. Answer your call letters, please. KQBV.
Those are just the call letters of the police radio.
It's like we were rats being trapped.
I think I know how to help you, boy.
You think you know that? That's enough for you, Juanita.
I think I can call the cops off you.
What do you mean?
You and Shaky get in the car, start driving toward San Fernando. 15 minutes after you've left, I'll call the cops and tell them there's been a killing on the other side of town. I'll describe you two, and all the cops will go racing in the wrong direction.
Yeah?
What are you willing to do that for? If you stay here, you'll get caught.
I can slip through alone and meet you next week.
Yeah. You know, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's the best idea we got, sure. Wait a minute. How come you're willing to take this chance, Juanita?
Crane is my boyfriend. Aren't you, Crane?
Sure, baby, sure. You know I love you.
Then why shouldn't I take a chance?
Come on, Shaky. We got to get going.
Yeah.
I'll sit down here by the telephone, and in 15 minutes I'll call the cops.
Hey, you ain't getting sleepy, are you, kid?
No, I'm not getting sleepy, Crane.
Okay. Well, we're leaving. Good luck.
You want to give me a kiss before you go, Crane?
None of that stuff now, kid. The time's too short.
Yes, the time's too short.
Come on, Shaky, get going. We'll be seeing you, Juanita.
Yes. I'll be seeing you.
Well, you passed that car in front of us, Crane. We've been trailing at 20 miles.
It's doing 40, Shaky. I don't want to take a chance of being picked up for speeding.
No cop's going to take me out, blow my brains out quick.
Cars 47 and 2.
That's state police.
Be ready for instructions.
You suppose the cops will get Juanita back there?
Yeah, they will. She can't tell nothing.
Yeah, should have pumped her full of lead weeks ago.
Attention, all police.
Is there anybody living but police?
The body of a girl has just been found in a house on the outskirts of Long Beach.
Juanita, she's dead.
This girl was sitting by the telephone. Death was due to the overdose of sleeping tablets.
Juanita's dead, and she's here, in the air.
Examination of the house leaves no doubt that it was occupied by the gunman. Cartridges were found, and fingerprints of Shaky O'Leary.
And it's me.
And the prints of William Harlan Crane. That is all.
Crane, she's dead. Stop shaking. She knows how we wanted to kill her. She's laughing at us. Sure, that's what she's doing. She's laughing at us.
42, calling headquarters.
That sounds awful loud.
I'm getting you, 42. I'm proceeding 40 miles an hour along Highway 19.
That's where we are, Crane.
We're directly back of Killer's car. Car 29 directly in front of them. We have them hemmed in.
Crane, there is another car right in back of us.
Break out that back window and use your shotgun. Shoot to kill him.
Go on, shoot some more. I couldn't hold the shotgun. It dropped out the back window.
Stupid fool. Start shooting with your rod, then. There's a roadblock up ahead. Now we are caught.
All right, you men. Now that's all your hands up.
Yeah. We're coming. We're coming.
Don't shoot, Copper. Don't shoot. Here's my rod. So you're a Crane, huh? And the fellow doing the shakes must be O'Leary.
I said, don't shoot, Copper. I'm all in.
Fight's all out of you, eh, Crane?
Yeah.
Come on, get going. There's a couple of cells reserved for the both of you. Back in San Quentin. And that, Commissioner Valentine, is the factual case history of William Harlan Crane, Shaky O'Leary, and the beautiful Juanita Hanson. O'Leary was sentenced to life imprisonment. Tonight, Crane is in a cell, alone, sitting, thinking, listening to the clock ticking away the minutes before he is to be led into the gas chamber to his death.
Thank you, Sheriff Fiscally. All of us who listen to this case must realize again that crime does not pay.
Commissioner, before broadcasting our last-minute police bulletins on persons wanted tonight, I'd like to say a word to Sheriff Biscay-Lewis. Sheriff Biscay-Lewis, it's a pleasure at this time to thank you and your fellow police officers for your splendid work as illustrated by tonight's case. In recognition of your courage and devotion to duty, Sheriff, please accept this Waterman's Deluxe pen and pencil gift set with your name engraved on the gold cap.
Why, thank you, Mr. Gardner. That's a present I'll certainly be using for a long time to come.
Now, to our radio listeners, we'd like to make a suggestion. Before you buy a fountain pen at any price, consider carefully its features. Does it have a hand-ground 14-karat gold point that exactly suits your writing style? Waterman's does. Then how does the ink feed compare with Waterman's exclusive Inqueduct feed? Is it marvelously responsive to every writing need? Well, Waterman's is. And what about filling? Is there bother with plungers or pumping instead of Waterman's remarkably simple and easy one-stroke filling? You see, it's the quality that's built into every part of a Waterman's pen which provides so many extra advantages, so much long-lasting satisfaction, which makes it a pen you're always proud to own. Remember, too, it was Waterman's who invented the first practical fountain pen more than 60 years ago. Throughout the world, millions of satisfied users will tell you, for finest pen performance, just look for the name Waterman. And now, Gangbusters Nationwide Cruise. Richard H.C., warden of out-of-state prison, wires Gangbusters that 3 convicts have escaped by overpowering a guard and making their getaway in a prison truck. The escaped convicts are described as
Leo Young, 23, 5 feet 8 inches, 160 pounds, red hair, hazel eyes, medium build, tattoo, word Leo, left forearm. Word Leo, left forearm. Escape, Earl Russo, 31, 5 feet 11 inches, 157 pounds, brown hair, light hazel eyes, 2 scars, left side of face, scar back of neck. Escaped, William Russo, brother of Earl Russo, 33, 5 feet 10 inches, 152 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes, walks awkwardly.
Watch for Leo Young, Earl Russo, and William Russo. Escaped Nevada State Prison. If you have any information concerning these clues, notify your local police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or Gangbusters at once. Now, here's Commissioner Valentine to tell you about next week's case.
Our case next week concerns the magician of the prison cells, a gangster who laughs at steel locks, electric eyes, and listening devices.
For the thrilling, authentic case history of this magician of the prison cells, listen next week, same time, same station, to Gangbusters. And anytime, anywhere, when you are buying a fountain pen or when you're buying ink, just look for the name Waterman. Gangbusters Factual Case Histories is a Phillips H. Lord production. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
Proudly we hail. From New York City, where the American stage begins, here is another program with a cast of outstanding players. Public service time has been made available by this station for your Army and your Air Force to bring you this story, as proudly we hail the United States Army Nurse Corps. Our story is entitled Rescuer. This is the story of a quick-thinking Army nurse, Lieutenant Jennifer Allen, who set out to spend her leave at a quiet retreat high in the mountains, but becomes involved with a desperate criminal and a kid who never had a chance. Our first act curtain will rise in just a moment, but first,
If you're a registered nurse, there are unparalleled opportunities for you in the Army Nurse Corps. Here is a nursing career with a future, offering opportunities for world travel, valuable specialized training, and a good salary. You will begin as a commissioned officer, enjoying the same prestige, pay, and benefits as the male officers. You'll work with the best of equipment, have opportunities to develop your professional skills by working with many different types of patients. In addition, you'll enjoy a 30-day vacation each year with pay. But most important of all, you'll get a tremendous satisfaction from your work, and you'll be doing your country a vital service. Act now. Find out if you're qualified to serve as an Army nurse. Write to the Surgeon General, Department of the Army, Washington 25, D.C. Write today. Your country needs you. And now your Army and your Air Force present the proudly rehailed production, Rest Cure. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, so the saying goes. With Lieutenant Jennifer Allen, you might have to change the saying around somewhat because no matter how hard she worked as an Army nurse, she was never dull. Still, having saved up her leave time for a whole year, she was mighty glad when the welcome day arrived. Jennifer had plans.
Hi there, Lucky. Hello, Colonel. 30 days has September, April, June, and Lieutenant Jennifer Allen.
Oh, don't sound so mournful.
Oh, I'm not. I think it's wonderful. I wish I could get a 30-day leave.
You can. All you have to do is save up your time. Hey, hand me that blouse, will you?
Thanks. I'm the impatient kind. I can't save anything. The boys in the ward all said bon voyage.
Oh, I'll stop in and say goodbye before I go. Those shoes there?
Where are you going? New York, London, Paris?
The moon? Maybe the moon.
Say hello to the Craters for me.
I'll do that.
No kidding, Jen. Where are you bound for?
Well, first I'm going home, Arizona.
Oh, sure. Got to do that. Then where?
Then I'm going to do something I've been wanting to do for a long, long time.
You're not going to get married.
Oh, no, you silly goose.
You don't scare me like that.
The skirt right there beside you.
Here.
Thanks.
Well, what's this Greg's dream?
Well, you see, my family owned a lodge about 12 miles out of town. It sits on the side of a little hill with the moon towering above it, looking out over the desert.
Mm-hmm.
This time of year, the desert blooms. This time of year, everything starts to bloom. That's where I'm going.
You and your family, huh?
Oh, no, alone.
Huh? Well, for how long? A weekend?
No, the whole time. I'm just going to...
You mean you're going to waste 30 precious days sitting out in the middle of nowhere watching the desert or whatever it is bloom?
That's right.
Oh, honey, you don't need a leave. You need a doctor. Now, wait a minute. Gee whiz, I got some friends in New York who just...
Oh, relax. I've got friends in New York, too. I've got friends in lots of places, but the cabin is where I plan to go, and that's where I want to go. You don't know what it's like to get up at dawn. Saddle your horse, go riding
I
out.
want to be alone. Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And you know something? I'm going to have a wonderful time.
Yeah, that may sound like a wonderful time to you, but to me it sounds like something for the birds. I'll bet you're not out there 2 hours before you're bored stiff. That kind of stuff might have been all right when you were a kid, but, honey, you've grown up. You're a big girl now.
Lieutenant, you're so right.
Lieutenant, it will be dull. Terribly dull.
It'll be peaceful, beautiful, and quiet. And that, my dear lady, is what I'm after. Almost home. Ooh, gonna have a real storm. We make it.
Once indeed. Come on, there's the cabin. We can make it. Here we come. We'll go right into the stable. Hey, keep going, Cindy. Didn't you right into the stable? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, easy there, easy.
What's the matter, girl? Funny, the gate was open when I left.
The wind...
No, there's no wind yet. Come on, now, calm down. Now, calm down.
All right, I'll go have a look. Well, come on, Cindy. There's nothing here to... Who are you? What do you want? Come away from there so I can... No! He's fainted. Oh, he's just a kid. Come on, young fellow, you can't lie there. Oh, he's shot. Shot through the arm. There, that's better.
Where?
Oh, now you're all right. Just lie still.
Dang.
Yes, lucky for you.
What do you mean?
If I hadn't come along, you might have blessed it there.
My arm.
Has a rather nasty hole. Here, drink it. How did you get out here, anyway?
I walked, sister.
Somewhere.
I came across the desert, as you must know.
Must have been a long, hot walk.
I like the exercise.
With a bullet hole in your arm?
Who says it's a bullet hole?
I do. Now lie back there. What's your name?
John Smith.
Well, John Smith. I'll have to report this to the sheriff at Meekin tomorrow.
The sheriff? You stay away from the sheriff?
You lie
try and
down.
tell the sheriff about me, sister, and I'll break your neck.
You won't break anybody's neck unless it's your own.
If I didn't have a busted wing...
Just remember, John Smith, or whatever your name is, that you're lucky to be alive right now.
I would have died, huh?
If I hadn't stopped the bleeding. As it is, you need to go to a hospital.
Sure, get me a room and bath. How come you knew how to fix me up?
Because lucky for you, I'm a nurse, an army nurse.
A nurse, huh? Now, ain't that something? What you doing out here?
Well, that's none of your business.
What's your name?
What's yours? I think that's a lot more important.
John Smith.
We'll see about that in the morning.
Yeah. We'll see about it. Hey, nurse, Lieutenant, whatever your name is.
Oh, what's the matter?
There's somebody outside. I heard somebody.
It's an animal. Go back.
No, I tell you, no.
I should drink the water. Oh, he's got a temperature. Look, he was dreaming.
No, I wasn't dreaming, I tell you. I've been lying awake listening.
Well, stop listening and go to sleep.
Look, I know what I know. I tell you. Isn't there a rifle over the fireplace?
Lie down.
No, get the rifle. Give it to me. Give me a chance. They found me. They're going to kill me. Please.
No one's going to kill you.
Stop it when you stop it. Get the gun yourself. I tell you. Don't waste time asking me what...
Just so long as nobody moves, nobody will get hurt.
Who are you?
Quiet, lady. Trying to lighten the bump, Chip. Well, what do we got here? Now, if that don't beat all. We not only find a place to hole up, we find our old pal, the kid.
Ain't it a dream?
What's the matter, kid? Ain't you glad to see your old pal?
Leave him alone. He's been hurt.
The poor kid. Well, the kid don't seem very talkative right now. Out of the way, lady.
Keep your hands off of him. Who are you? What do you want here?
Who are we, lady? No, that's a fair question. Who are we, kid?
The devil.
Now, ain't that a good? Hey, start to... I look like the devil?
Nah, you look good. Ain't nobody here but them two.
Well, no, that makes it better.
My whole family will be here in the morning, so you better clear out.
Well, that'll make it crowded.
What do you want?
Who, me? All I want, babe, is some peace and quiet. I think this is the place I'm going to find it.
Yeah, we all need a rest. Even the kid needs a rest.
Oh, he's getting good treatment, that kid. You see, we've been living a kind of active type life. Small matter of bank robbery and some unfriendly citizens out looking for us.
Yeah, they ain't got no sense of humor.
Yeah, it's the truth. They'll be flat-foot from here to L.A. out looking for us, so we thought we'd rest up till they got tired of chasing themselves.
Well, you're not going to rest up here. Not if you're smart. Lots of people come out here to visit me.
Well, now, lady, that's awful nice of you to worry about us, but you just let us do our own worrying, huh?
The car all stashed away, Whitey.
Good. You got first watch. Now, that little hill overlooking the road's the best place, and Stark will relieve you at 4, and I'll take it then.
Right.
If you see any lights, I don't care how far away, come running.
Like a flying saucer.
Well, kid, we didn't Exactly expect to see you again.
You wouldn't have it.
If we'd shot a little straighter, huh? We don't like guys to run out on us, especially at the last minute. It's very unfriendly of you, kid.
Let him alone.
Get out of my way.
No, I'm going...
Oh, no, you don't. That's nice for ladies to play with guns.
Take your hands off of me.
Better leave her alone, Wade. She's in the Army. She's an officer.
Oh, no. No. Stark, did you hear that?
Yes. What's the Army doing out here? Good-looking dame like that.
Yeah, what are you doing out here, General?
Lieutenant, to you. I happen to be on a vacation.
A vacation? Now, ain't that rich? What outfit you in, Colonel?
I happen to be a nurse, and as a nurse, I can tell you you're a very sick man.
That a girl, you tell him. I can't get over it. We not only knock off a lovely fat bank, but we capture part of the United States Army.
Like Jip says, a dream.
Well, all right, let's get down to cases. One peep out of you, kid, and it'll be your last. When we leave, we'll take you along for the ride. And there see you behave, and we'll get along fine. Yeah, we'll have a nice vacation. One big happy family.
You are listening to the proudly we hail production Rest Cure. We'll return in just a moment for the second act. Here's a message for you girls who have finished college. If you received your A.B. in physical education or the biological sciences, you may be eligible for a commission as a physical therapist in the Women's Medical Specialist Corps of the Army. You'll receive all the benefits of a second lieutenant while you attend the Army's special 12-month physical therapy course. For further information, write to the Surgeon General, Department of the Army, Washington 25, D.C. You are listening to Proudly We Hail, and now we present the second act of Rest Cure. Peace and quiet. That's all Lieutenant Jennifer Allen was looking for, and that's all Whitey and his gang were seeking. But somehow, although there was peace and quiet all around the cabin, there was hardly the same feeling within it.
Not looking for trouble, but gotta go straight.
Oh.
Pick me up. Give me a job. The crooks. No, leave me alone. Leave me
It's
alone.
all right. It's all right. You're safe now. Yeah. No one's going to hurt you.
Ain't afraid. Just give me a chance. Chance, that's all. Chance.
Go to sleep. Now, try to sleep.
Well, you sure got away with them, ain't you, Nursey? Wouldn't mind being sick myself with you around.
Look, his arm is badly infected. He's lost a lot of blood. He needs immediate medical attention.
Okay, give it to him. You're an Army nurse. You ought to be
I am not a doctor. He needs a doctor.
Well, honey, that's just tough.
If he dies...
I'll send flowers. Everything okay?
Like a dream. Nothing moving. Can see for miles. Nice day.
Good.
I could eat a horse.
There's coffee on the stove in there.
Cool.
Where do you think you're going?
Just... Your friend reminded me. I haven't fed my horse this morning.
Well, how thoughtless of you. Well, go ahead and feed him. Oh, yes, and one thing, Lieutenant. If you got any screwy ideas about trying to get away from here, I'd forget them. The kid's in bad enough shape as it is. I wouldn't want him to get any worse.
Hey, what time is it?
Yeah?
That's about what I figured.
4:30.
4:30. Cocktail hour. You know, I remember a time I was...
Shut up, you...
What I said?
I want to sleep.
Please. I gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here.
Keep them quiet.
I could gag him if that would please you.
Not a bad idea.
Wait. Car coming down the road is headed for this place.
Cops?
I don't think so. Convertible.
Who do you know owns a convertible?
Oh, lots of people.
Come on, you talk.
It's your filthy hands. Oh!
Who?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Settle this later, Nursey. Stark, get back up on the hill. Keep the car covered. Don't start anything unless it starts down here first. Yep. You and I'll stay here. Now remember, no activity unless I start it. You got it? Okay, get going. I'll tell you what you're going to do, Nursey. You're going to go out there and you're going to meet that car. Whoever it is, you're going to get rid of. I'll be right here by the door, and if you try anything fancy, it's going to be just too bad all around. Not only their life that depends on it, it's yours. Yep. Down by that window. Okay, out you go.
Hey, Dad! It's me, hey!
Well, what do you know, Captain Henry Cole?
Well, what do you know, Lieutenant Jennifer Allen? Hey, you sick or something?
No, I'm fine.
Don't you remember me? Has being promoted changed me so much?
Not a bit.
Well, it seems to have changed you. I just get home from Germany, see your mother. She tells me you're out here.
And did she tell you I came out here to be alone?
Huh?
That's right, Hank. I came out to the cabin because I wanted to get away from everyone. And that means everyone.
Boy, you haven't changed. You just aren't the same girl.
Maybe I'm not.
Jan, is anything wrong?
For someone who's been connected with Army intelligence for so long, I must say you don't act very intelligent. Nothing is wrong that you're leaving won't make right.
What the...
You've been in the service longer than I have, and I should think you'd know by now that any good officer knows how to interpret an order and carry it out.
And you're ordering me?
Even though you have the rank, I'm ordering you. If that doesn't convince you how I feel about men in general, I suggest you check with Mark Tyler.
Mark Tyler?
Goodbye, Hank. It's been nice seeing you.
Baby, it's been real.
Give my regards to your family.
Baby, it's been real. Lieutenant, you shouldn't have been a nurse. You should have been an actor.
Oh.
Where you going?
To take the gag out of this boy's mouth before he chokes to death.
Boy, did you ever give him the brush. Like a dream.
Get me some hot water.
Oh, me?
Yes, you and on the double.
You heard what the lieutenant said. Get the hot water on the double.
You've been real good to me.
No. I've only done
what you'd do for any other punk.
No, I didn't say that.
No, but that's what I am. A punk. Always been a punk.
There's no reason you have to be.
Try. Every time I try, something happens.
Now, just like that. Would you like something to drink?
No, thanks. I ain't never met a lady like you. Bums. You ain't afraid of them, are you?
Well, no, I don't think so. Maybe I'm afraid of what they might try and do.
Yeah. Well, I ain't afraid of them anymore either. Hey, Whitey, you hear that? I ain't afraid of you anymore.
Now, ain't that nice?
Yeah, it's good. Feels good. See, I know I ain't going to make it. I'm going to die, and I ain't afraid of you anymore.
Don't be silly. You're going to be all right.
Don't have to kid me, Lieutenant. Arms as big as my legs.
Nonsense. You don't want to talk or think that way.
It ain't your fault. You treated me better than anybody ever treated me, but it was.
Yeah.
Me and Chip have been doing some thinking.
Don't make it a habit.
Well, we think it's time to clear out of here. Somebody else will come out to see this dame tomorrow, and next day somebody will get suspicious.
And I suppose you got it all figured out where we head when we leave.
Yeah, Tucson. Then we split up like we figured before.
It figures? You don't say.
Night's dark. Better hit the road right now.
Now listen to me, the both of you. I give the orders here. When I say it's time to go, we go, and not before. I plan the robbery, I plan the getaway, and I'll plan the rest of it.
Yeah, well...
We stay right here until I say move. You got it? Well?
Okay, all right. We just figured...
Well, don't from now on.
Whitey.
Yeah.
Hey, Whitey, come on, now wake up. Chip hasn't come in yet.
Yeah? Chip? What? I didn't let me know sooner.
Well, I fell asleep, I guess.
Great. Come on.
All right. Some night. Can't see a foot.
Well, maybe he got lost. Maybe Chip's still out there.
Why don't we give him a call?
Well, probably won't hear us, but go ahead.
Hey, Chip! Hey, Chip! Chip!
No, they can't hear you in this. Run up to the hill and find out what the pitch is.
I don't like this.
What's the matter? You scared of the dark?
I can't see the wind blowing like...
So what?
So why don't we both go?
Well, I'm tired. Now go on up there. Tell Chip to come back here.
What's wrong?
Not a thing. Go on back to sleep. Don't get it. He couldn't be double-crossing me. I got to go. Cars in the stable. Nobody could jump them. Hey, you, wake up.
I'm awake. I've been awake listening to you grow frightened. Where are your men?
What do you know about them?
How would I know anything about them? Perhaps they all got lost and wandered out into the desert. The Indians will tell you that evil spirits lay in wait...
Stow it.
Frightened?
Shit. They're disappearing like this makes things a lot easier. I hate the business dividing three ways. Ain't good at arithmetic. So I'll just be hitting the road. With gas in the tank, and I'll put plenty of distance between me and here by morning.
And, what are your plans for the kid and myself?
Kid ain't going anywhere, and to make sure you don't, I'll have to tie you up. Somebody will find you in a couple of days, or the boys will come back and set you free. You just lie down on that couch while I get some rope.
Do you think I'll make it easy for you?
Just make it rough on yourself if you don't.
If you want to tie me up, let's see you try.
Now, look, I got no time to waste, and I ain't fooling. Lie down there before I bat your teeth in.
Keep your hands off of you, punk.
Oh, so you're staring, too. Well, I think I'll... Look out,
Whose teeth are you going to knock in, huh? Up to Casey. Matt, take it away.
Oh, Hank. Oh, I don't think I've ever been so glad to see anyone in all my life.
You wouldn't have gathered that this afternoon. Just another one of the gang?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Oh, look, we've got to get him to a hospital right away.
Gee, I must be sick. That was the nicest thing I ever seen. That's Whitey, old boy.
Hey, Matt, get a couple of boys in here. We got a patient for the hospital.
Did you catch the others?
Yeah, snug as a bug in a rug. They never knew what hit them.
How'd you know?
Your nurse here is one smart gal. In the first place, I knew Jen could never act the way she did this afternoon and mean it. Second place, she said I was in intelligence, and I'm an engineer. Third place, she said to check with Matt Tyler, and Matt's the sheriff. So I knew something was really phony.
Gee, just like them spy things in the movies.
You lie back there and be quiet, young man.
She sure gives orders, don't you?
Now it's my turn to give a few. Right in here, boys.
I've come to say goodbye, Johnny.
Real nice of you.
Doctor says you're going to be fine.
Thanks to you.
And they know now you weren't implicated in the robbery.
Then I won't go to jail?
No, Johnny. Both Chip and Stark told the police they'd picked you up hitchhiking.
I guess I should thank them both.
What are you going to do, Johnny, when you get out of here? Don't you have any place to go?
Oh, not much. I've been lying here thinking, and, well...
Well, what?
You won't laugh at me.
Of course not.
Do you suppose I could get in the Army?
Well, I don't know why not. They took him.
Hey, wait a minute. I'll have you...
gee, you look wonderful.
Had a wonderful time.
You didn't really go out to that cabin.
I most certainly did.
Yeah, and I'll bet you stayed about 2 minutes.
And 28 days.
On? Well, what'd you do? Watch the cactus grow?
Most of the time it was very quiet. I met a few, characters, and, Hank Cole was home on leave, too.
Oh, well, now you're talking. Heck, he must have been a big help.
Oh, yes, I guess you could say that. Several times.
Well, even so, I still can't think of any duller way to spend 30 hard-earned days. Me, I'm the kind that likes excitement.
Your United States Army needs registered nurses. Now is the time for registered nurses to be of vital service to their country by offering their services to the Army Nurse Corps. You'll become a commissioned officer and have excellent opportunities to further your career. You'll have the benefit of working with the finest medical equipment in the world, and you'll learn the newest professional techniques in anesthesia, operating room procedure, nursing administration, and many, many others. Remember, the Army Nurse Corps, oldest of all the women's military services, is an all-commissioned corps made up entirely of registered nurses who serve with Army medical units in all the special fields of nursing, including supervision and administration. So why not get all the facts today? Do this by writing or wiring the Surgeon General, Department of the Army, Washington 25, D.C. This has been another program on Proudly We Hail, presented transcribed in cooperation with this station. Proudly We Hail is produced by the Recruiting Publicity Center for the United States Army and United States Air Force Recruiting Service. This is Kenneth Banghart speaking and inviting you to tune in the same station next week for another interesting story on Proudly We Hail.
Here's Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective.
Hello there. My name's Diamond, and I'm known along the big street as a guy who manages to keep his nose pretty clean and still make a few bucks while I'm doing it. Oh, sure, it gets a little grimy, but you've got to expect that. I'm a shamus, private eye, gumshoe. To the guy who hasn't ever been worried because he tripped over a corpse in his breakfast nook, I'm known as a private detective. And to some guys, I'm known by a lot of other names. Not the kind you'd find in a book on manners and social usages. But there are times when you might turn up on your desk calendar under the heading of what I must do today. Who hires me? How do I make a living? Well, maybe this will give you an idea.
Fred, why don't you eat your toast? It's getting cold.
Why don't you stop worrying about the temperature of my breakfast? I'm trying to read the paper.
Did anyone ever tell you how charming it is to have breakfast with you every morning?
Yeah. My ulcers.
I'd like to go shopping today. Will you leave me some money? Fred, did you hear me?
Mary, I'm reading.
Well, stop reading and listen to me for a minute. I need some new summer clothes, and I want to go shopping today.
Here. Here's $10. Buy yourself a bathing suit.
Oh, that's very funny. I need more than $10. I want $500.
What kind of a bathing suit are you going to buy, me?
I'm not going to buy a bathing suit. I need some new clothes. Will you put down that paper and listen to me?
Well, I see you made Jimmy Cello's column again, my darling.
What?
What prominent socialite is fighting with her wealthy husband and crying on the shoulder of a big-time playboy after the arguments?
That's supposed to be me?
Can you remember 5 minutes in the past 5 years when we haven't been fighting?
Are you accusing me of running around with some playboy?
Running around is right. I expect one of you to be the first to do a 4-minute mile.
How dare you?
How dare me? Why, you lushed-up little tramp.
Tramp?
Yeah, tramp. Everybody in town knows you're seeing Lorne Oliver.
All right, so I've been seeing him. We're just friends.
Well, that kind of friendship is grounds for divorce in this state.
Why, you dirty...
I'm sick of this whole rotten mess, and I'm going to do something about it.
You're going to do something about it? Why, you conceited, pompous... You're going to do something, are you? Well, you better hurry up, because I've got some ideas of my own.
Yeah?
Lorne.
Yeah, you married?
I got to talk to you.
What time is
10
it?
o'clock.
Well, it's still the middle of the night. Call me back
This
later.
can't wait. Fred found an item about us in Jimmy Cello's column this morning. He stormed out of here like he was going to kill somebody.
Well, you're just the gal who can recognize the symptoms.
Well, that's a nasty line.
What do you want at 10 in the morning, Longfellow? Look, honey, I'll take care of Cello, and if that husband of yours gets out of line, I'll take care of him, too.
You see what I mean? If things like that didn't happen, I'd be out of business. I'll lay you 8 to 5 that before 3 o'clock this afternoon, one of those charming people will be walking into my office begging for help. Yeah?
Rick?
Oh, hello, Helen, baby.
Hi. You gonna take me out tonight?
Sure. I'll be over later. We'll have a quiet evening.
No. I want to go dancing tonight. If you don't take me, I'll throw a tantrum.
But, baby, I don't have the cash. I'm tapped this week.
Well, if you won't let me take you, borrow it from Francis. You told me yourself he was good in a pinch.
Yeah, but he's already black and blue from those 3 lunches at Lindy's. Besides, he's not only your butler, but he's a darn good businessman. He wants security.
Well, give it to him.
He's already got my badge, my book on the 10 best ways to sneak through transoms, complete with illustrations, and my gun.
Haven't you got something else?
Yeah, but I'm saving the right eye in case of an emergency. Keyholes, you know. Look, honey, let's go take in a quiet movie and...
I want to get dressed up and go to a nightclub. It's summer. The flowers are blooming, and the fox has left his lair.
His what?
Oh, I've been hibernating all winter, and I want to get out into some nice, smoke-filled dance floor.
Why, Helen.
Why, Helen, nothing. Please, Rick.
Hold it. Someone's knocking at my chamber door. Come in.
Mr. Diamond?
Yeah, pull up a chair. I'll be right with you.
Who is it?
I'm afraid to look. I haven't paid the light bill.
This is the detective agency, isn't it?
You, sir, have just won yourself a new economy home-size murder sampler, complete with a matching set of bodies.
Me?
No.
I haven't got time to listen to your bright remarks, Diamond. I want to hire you.
What did he say?
He doesn't like my bright remarks. You won't even admit they're bright.
What else?
No, something about wanting to,
Something about what?
what was that last statement, sir? It sounded rather cozy.
I said I wanted to hire you.
What?
I'll call you later, baby. Bye.
Wait a minute.
Now, Mr.
Sears.
Mr. Sears, what can I do for you?
I want you to follow my wife.
Will I like the view?
She's running around with another man.
Well, if they're just running around, don't worry about it. It's when they get tired and slow down that things start to pop.
There was a veiled article in Jimmy Cello's column this morning about my wife and this man.
Yeah, I know Cello.
So do I, but I'm not interested in Cello at the moment.
Well, what do you want? Enough on your wife so you can get a divorce?
Yes.
Oh, well, that comes kind of high. I don't like cases like this, and I usually turn them down. If you want me to swallow my pride, it'll take a $200 retainer and $100 a day in expenses.
I'll write you a check.
Oh, just like that, huh?
I am quite wealthy. That's why I want the divorce, Mr. Diamond. There you are.
Yes, sir. There I am. Now, what's the man's name that your wife is seeing?
His name is Lorne Oliver.
Well, this is turning into a family gathering.
You know him?
Sure, runs the Monarch Club.
That's right.
What's your wife's name, and we're going to get a look at her?
Mary Sears. You can see her tonight at the Stork. We'll be there for dinner, 9 o'clock.
I'll be there. Oh, incidentally, that comes under the heading of expenses, in case you have a short memory.
I have a good memory, Mr. Diamond. You can send me the bill.
Oh. Address and phone number?
45 East 65th Street.
45 East 65.
Evergreen 41793.
41793.
Now I've got to be going. Goodbye, Mr. Diamond.
Goodbye, Mr. Sears. Yeah?
What'd you hang up on me for?
Honey, this is because you always give me an argument. You never want to go anywhere. I'm getting tired of shows and hot dogs. I want to go dancing.
What?
And I don't mean Roseland. I want to go to the Stork. I'm a growing boy, and I like to see the bright lights and throw my money around.
But, Rick, you
I'll pick you up at 8:30, and this time, don't wear slacks.
You're an idiot.
Bye, idiot. Yes, that's the way it goes, just as I told you. The word private in front of detective means you're married to all the troubles in the world, and that includes everything. So if a guy turns up who's unhappy with his wife, you listen to him howl, and if he's got enough money, you take the job. It's for better or for worse. And until Mr. Sears came in, it was decidedly one-sided. I'd teach cooking to a bunch of headhunters for a fee like the one he'd given me. When I looked at his $200 check, I started getting that big man complex again. So I closed the office and went back to my flat. We'd probably be up late, and Helen always had some extracurricular activities after we'd get back to her place. You know, roasting marshmallows, fast game of canasta, or an exciting round of immies on the living room rug. Anyway, I always got home pretty late in the a.m., so I spent the rest of the afternoon taking a nap. At 6 o'clock, I got up and dressed, and at 8:30, I picked up Helen. Wow. And at 9 o'clock, we were sitting at the Stark Club bar, right on schedule.
Rick, when are you going to ask for a table?
Well, honey, the drinks come faster here.
But I want to dance.
Oh, no. Mustn't overdo it, lover. How do you know? Maybe some mountain climber will ask you on a 20-mile hike tomorrow. Think of your feet.
I am. I want to move them around that dance floor. Oh, Rick, I know you. If you do something, you do it all the way.
Yeah, let's naked.
Oh, now you stop that. You're on a job, and you don't want to go in there because you've got to watch somebody.
Well, Helen Asher, how are you, darling?
Well, hello, Lauren. How have you been?
Oh, couldn't be better. Why don't you ever stop over to my club? I'd like to show you around.
She just brought a seeing eye dog.
Oh, hello, Diamond.
You two know each other, don't you?
Yes. How did we make such a grisly mistake, Oliver?
I don't know. I tried taking penicillin for it, but it didn't do much good.
Well, it probably helped out in the other things. Why don't you try hanging yourself?
Rick.
You always did think you were a pretty funny man, didn't you, Diamond?
It's easy being a comic. You just find an idiot for an audience. How do you like the performance?
Stinks. Pardon me, Helen, but I see some people I know. You'll excuse me, won't you, Diamond?
Oh, sure, yes. But the next time you drop around, bring some airwick, huh?
Rick, even if you don't like him, you shouldn't say those things. It's liable to start a fight.
Oh, he wouldn't take a swing at a midget if he was riding an elephant.
Wonder who his friends are. They don't seem to be too glad to see him.
The name's Sears.
Is that who you're watching?
Yeah, the wife.
I don't know whether I approve or not. She's very attractive.
Isn't she, though?
Rick.
This is business, baby. Business. I'm only drooling because I haven't had anything to eat since this morning.
Well, then let's get a table. You've seen her. You've observed what she's doing. Now, let's get something to eat.
Wait a minute. Here comes somebody else I know.
Where?
Standing at the check room.
The little man?
Yeah, here he comes.
Who is he?
Name's Cello,
Oh.
Jimmy Cello. Writes a gossip column.
I read it all the time.
Huh? Hello, Jimmy.
Well, a Broadway shamus. Who's the lovely redhead, Diamond?
Helen, meet James Cello, but be careful what you say. Jimmy, Helen Asher.
Hello, Mr. Cello.
How do you do? This an item, Rick?
If I don't get us a table soon, she's going to make me give back her sorority pin.
Oh, speaking of tables, I see some people I know. Nice meeting you, Miss Asher.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Diamond.
Bye, Jimmy.
Rick, he's going over to Sears' table.
Hello, Walter. Hi, Doll. Hi. Well, good evening.
What do you want, Cello?
Oh, I just dropped by to see how the happy little family was getting along.
Well, just drop away. Nobody asked you to stop by.
Yeah, why don't you do that? And take Oliver here with you. Nobody asked him to stop by
Fred,
either.
keep your voice down.
This is my table, and I don't like a lot of crumbs lying all over it.
Who's a crumb?
Come on, Lorne. I guess Mr. Sears has forgotten a few things.
I haven't forgotten a thing, Cello. When you print one thing in that lying sheet of yours, and I'll have you sued for life.
Listen, Sears, if I did print anything, they'd put you away so far they'd have to pipe air into you.
Oh, do go on, Mr. Cello. This is getting interesting.
You'd better get out of here, Cello.
No. Go on, Cello. What have you got on old Moneybag?
He's a lying, dirty gossip monger. He doesn't have a thing.
Wait a minute. I don't like that. Why don't you ask your husband about North Africa sometime, Mrs. Sears?
Just a minute.
Fred, stop it.
All right, now pick yourself up and get out of here, Cello.
Maybe you're right. I've got a column to get out. It'll be all about you, Sears, in big type.
Go on, get out.
How about me? You gonna throw me out, too?
You can bet your life I am.
I'm getting out of here.
You stay right where you are.
Don't talk that way to Mary.
I'll talk any way I like to my wife.
Lon, maybe you'd better leave. Here come the waiters.
Now I'm gonna push his fat slob's face in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Come on,
push him, boys. All right. Come on, break it up. Come on. Hey, waiter, give me a hand. Come on. Take your hands off me, Diamond.
Now, calm down, Mr. Sears.
I'll kill that slob.
Oliver, you shut up or I'll pull your pants up over your head and shove you in a glass like a breadstick.
I don't like people meddling in my affairs, Diamond. You're fired.
I'm what?
You heard me. Now take your filthy hands off me.
Well, they were lily white before I palmed that check of yours this morning. You can have it back. Here, eat it.
What? I'll have you in jail for this, Diamond.
Why? It isn't every day you get to eat a $200 check.
Oh, Rick, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, baby, but that's what happens when you go to work for a hyena like Sears. You think he's a nice guy because he laughs so much. But you find out later it's only because he chewed your leg off. We left Sears still spitting out pieces of the check I'd shoved down his throat and headed for Helen's apartment. I was sore. When I get hot under the collar, I don't make for good company. So I dropped her off with a kiss and went back to my flat and climbed in the sack. I smoked a dozen cigarettes before I got to sleep. When I finally did, it must have been with a big smile on my face. All night I kept dreaming that Lauren Oliver and Fred Sears were beating themselves to death with hot paper sacks. Yeah.
Diamond?
No, this is Sunshine Market. Locks Popover is our specialty.
Now, you stop clowning and get over here right away.
Walt?
Lieutenant Levinson.
Oh.
Where are you?
I'm in your office.
Yeah? What if any clients come in, give them a good sales talk. Tell them how many people you've killed or something.
There's a guy in your office now.
Prospect?
Depends on what you're talking about. I think his name is Fred Sears.
Tell him to go home. He canned me last night.
I don't think he'll listen.
All right. So he's sore.
He's got a right to be. He's dead.
Stop acting like an idiot, Walt. You know I didn't have anything to do with it.
I know you didn't, but we found the stiff in your office, and we got a report that he fired you last night, that you had a fight with him. I got to tell the commissioner something, Rick.
Tell him Sergeant Otis is teething.
Now, you stop that.
No, what do you know about the killing?
The coroner just left. He said that Sears had been dead about 8 hours. The cleaning woman found him at 9 this morning and called us.
That puts the time of the murder around 1 a.m.
We found this, clenched in the dead man's hand.
What is it?
An article torn out of the morning papers. Here, read it.
Jimmy Cholo's column.
Read it.
All right, I will. Don't yell at me. Fred Sears, wealthy import-export man, is having troubles. He's finding it hard to explain about his past doings in North Africa, and at the same time, he's finding it just as hard to explain his wife's interest in the local playboy, nightclub owner Lauren Oliver. He got so mad at the Stork Club... Oh, I was there. He got so mad at the Stork Club last night that he took a poke at your columnist and then tried to beat up Lauren Oliver. Will this lead to a rematch between Oliver and Sears?
We're having the whole bunch of them picked up.
Walt, before you do that, give me a couple of hours, will you? Try to dig up your killer?
I can't. You know what we've got to do. It's routine.
Well, the commissioner's already having fits every time he hears my name.
Now, look, Rick.
Walt, I got a business to protect. And if he finds out the stiff was killed in my office, he'll probably haul in my license.
1 hour, Rick. That's all I can give you. I got a job, too.
Thanks, Walt.
I suppose you've got an alibi for 1 o'clock?
Call Helen. We were toasting marshmallows. Well, I had 3 good suspects. Lauren Oliver, Cello, the columnist, and Mrs. Sears. One of the 3 was built just right for the electric chair. An hour isn't much time to dig up a killer, so I grabbed a cab and headed for Lauren Oliver's office in the back of his club.
Yeah, come in.
How are you, Oliver?
Oh, what do you want, Diamond? I'm particular about who comes into my club.
Oh, I'm surprised you can operate with that kind of policy. People probably see you in here every night.
I think I'll have you thrown out.
Where were you at 1 o'clock this morning?
None of your business. Herman.
Yeah, boss?
Come in here and show a guy out of my office.
Oh, we get rough, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you tell the cops who knocked off Fred Sears.
Hey, this the guy, boss?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Did you say someone knocked off Fred Sears?
That's right, but don't start crying about it. It makes me feel so helpless.
I'll tell my story to the cops.
They'll get a lot tougher than I will.
You won't get tough at all, Mac.
Oh, stop flexing, Herman. You'll snap your girdle.
Well, I guess it doesn't make much difference as long as Sears is dead. I was with his wife from about 12 o'clock to... Well, it was a long time after 1.
Well, where were you all that time?
At my place. And I'll take a walk, Shamus. You got my alibi.
One more question. Did you go out at all?
Yeah, I went out and got the late papers. So what? I like to read.
Okay. You don't mind if I stop by and see Mrs. Sears, do you?
No, go ahead.
I'll see you later. Oh, Herman.
Yeah?
You can let the air out now. Your muscles are lovely. Well, Oliver had a good story if it checked, so that left me with 2 more stops. Cello's newspaper office was the closest, so I grabbed another cab, and 10 minutes later I was sitting at his desk.
Oh, you don't think I had anything to do with it, do you, Diamond?
Where were you at 1 this morning?
I was covering a party at Richard Gray's. I was with friends from about 11 o'clock till after 3. You can check. Go on, check.
Look, Poison Pen. Sears had your column from the late edition clenched in his hand.
He did, huh? Well, you don't think if I was going to kill a man, I'd leave anything like that around?
I don't know.
Well, obviously, someone is trying to make it look like I did it. Have you talked with Oliver and Sears' wife?
Oliver's got an alibi, and I'm headed for Mrs. Sears' place right now. You know the address?
Yes. 45 East 65th. But Mrs. Sears couldn't kill her husband. I know her too well.
No? Well, thanks, Cello. I'll check your alibi. If it stands up, then I'll have to really go to work on Mrs. Sears.
Yes?
Mrs. Sears?
Yes.
Oh, you look even better up close.
What's on your mind?
You mean right this minute?
Well, aren't you nice? Don't crowd me, though. I can keep up a pretty good average in this league.
I'd say about 1,000. Mm-hmm. May I come in?
I think so, if you keep talking. I like to hear nice things.
Well, you deserve them. But I can think of some nice things to say about a panther.
We'll talk about my family some other time. Can I buy you a drink?
It's a little early, unless you got some milk.
Milk?
Where's your husband?
Oh, you know about him, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It looked as though it might work into quite a friendship.
Where is he?
I haven't seen him since last night. Why? Is he a friend of yours?
He's been using my office.
Oh?
Yeah, he died there last night.
What?
Everybody is so surprised.
But, how? Who did it?
That's what I'm trying to find out, lover. Where were you at 1 a.m.?
That's none of your business.
Okay, let the law drag it out of you. Goodbye, dear.
Wait a minute. All right, I'll tell you. I was with a man named Oliver, Lorne Oliver.
Oh, for how long?
From about 12 o'clock to, well, much later.
That's what Oliver says. Did you go out at all?
Just to get the papers.
That checks with Oliver's story, too. Did you go out alone?
Why, no, I went with Lorne.
He says he went out alone.
Oh, well, yes, he did.
I thought you said you went out with him.
Well, that was later. Lorne was the one that went out to get the papers.
Okay, what time was it?
About 2.
When you both went out or when Lorne went out to get the papers by himself?
When Lorne went out.
Oh, yes. Now I see. Well, I'll see you later.
Come back again.
Oh, I'll do that after you get over crying for your late husband.
I'll keep my emotions down to a minimum.
I'll bet you will. I left her standing in the middle of the room, looking after me like a vegetarian with an eye on a green salad. I closed the door and started down the hall for the elevators. For some reason, I never seem to get where I'm going.
Hello.
Oh.
While you're still tuned in, Diamond, I'll give us some advice. Stay away from Mrs. Sears. Now I want you to be sure and get the point.
Rick, come on, snap out of it.
I'll go away.
Come on, you don't look so good.
It matches the way I feel. Oh, here's a new line. Where am I, Walt?
In Mrs. Sears' apartment.
Hello, handsome.
She heard the scuffle in the hall, came out, found you, and called me.
Swell.
Who did it?
I didn't see him, but his voice sounded like a thug that Lorne Oliver keeps around, the patty cake with.
Oh, that was probably Herman. Lorne is so jealous.
Well, your hour is up, and now I'm going to haul them all in, including this Herman.
Oh, do you know Herman, Walt?
Sure, Herman Sharp. Got a record a mile long.
Walt, if a guy wanted to hire a killer, where would he go?
You know all the stoolies as well as I do.
Yeah. Mrs. Sears, what was the fight about last night at the Stork?
Oh, a columnist named Cello threatened my husband that he was going to print something in his paper. He said something about North Africa, and Fred hit him.
North Africa? This is really getting mixed up. Was your husband ever in North Africa?
Yes, during the war. He was a captain in the army.
Walt, can you get me this Herman Sharp's address? He's the boy I want.
Sure, but I'm coming along.
Have your boys pick up Cello, Oliver, and take them both down to the station along with Mrs. Sears here.
Well, you don't think I had anything to do with it, do you?
I've known Jimmy Cello a long time. About 5 years ago, he used to run around with a little dancer named Mary Carroll.
Sure he did. I'm Mary Carroll, but I broke up with him when I met Fred.
Yeah. Well, you'll see him at the station. You can pick up where you left off. Come on, Walt. We went down fast and climbed into the prowl car. Walt put in the call, got Herman's address over the two-way radio. 20 minutes later, we were standing in front of Herman's door. It was an old apartment house on the Lower East Side. I started for the door, but Walt had other ideas.
Rick, we can't go in there.
Why not?
Because I haven't got a search warrant.
Well, you got to go in if you want to crack this case.
Not without a search warrant.
Search warrant for what?
To go in.
Well, what do you want to go in for?
I don't want to go in. You do.
Do what?
Go in.
Well, go ahead.
I haven't got a warrant.
Well, what are you looking for?
Herman Sharp.
He's probably in there.
He is?
Sure.
Well, what are we waiting for? Oh, what did I do that for?
For that.
What?
Herman Sharp.
Oh.
Is he dead?
Yeah, been shot. What are you looking at?
Newspaper on the floor. This morning's. Oh. Cello's column's missing. Been torn out.
Then Herman's your killer.
Swell. Who killed Herman?
Don't you know?
I'm not going to start that again. Walt, go on back to the station. I'm going to check something and make a phone call. I'll be down in half an hour and point out your killer.
Now, calm down, everybody.
This is ridiculous. I want my lawyer.
You'll get one later.
Relax, Oliver. They can't hold us much longer. How do you feel, Mary?
I don't like this any more than you do.
Well, good afternoon. And happy Father's Day.
Rick, where the devil have you been?
Made a phone call to Washington, Walt. Mrs. Sears, did you know that your husband had a dishonorable discharge from the Army?
No.
You knew it, didn't you, Cello?
That's right, but I kept it quiet. He got it for running a black market.
What's this got to do with the death of Sears?
Oliver, you told me you went out to get the papers last night.
That's right.
What time was it?
A little after 2. You know what time the late edition comes out.
How about you, Mrs. Sears?
What Lorne says is correct.
How about it, Lorne? Were you the one to go out and get the papers?
Yes.
Then, Mrs. Sears, why did you tell me this afternoon that you also went out to get the papers?
Well,
Mary, don't say anymore.
You don't have to. The stories don't check, so you couldn't have been together last night.
Look, Diamond, what is this?
Oh, now you look, Oliver. You're both liars. But that doesn't make either one of you the killer.
Oh, but Rick, Cello's alibi checks right down the line.
Sure it does, because he was at that party. But the killer wasn't.
Oh, we know that. He couldn't have been.
Yeah, but the man who hired the killer to knock off Sears was.
What are you talking about, Diamond?
Oliver, where was your hired gun at last night?
You mean Herman?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He was with me until 6 o'clock, then he left.
Walt, when you find Herman's gun, ballistics will probably say that it was the one that did the job on Sears.
Herman?
Yeah. Cello, you hired Herman to kill Sears, and then you killed Herman.
You're out of your mind. I didn't even know this Herman.
We found the newspaper next to Herman's body. It had your column torn out of it.
That doesn't pin anything on me. It just shows you that Herman probably stuck that article in Sears' hand after tearing it out of the newspaper.
That's what you wanted to make it look like. You knew Herman. You knew about the clipping, so you killed him and tore the column out of this morning's newspaper.
Of course I knew about the clipping. You told me about it this morning in my office.
That's right. But you were the only one I told about it.
You couldn't convict Jack the Ripper on that kind of evidence.
I'm afraid he's right, Rick.
Cello, what time does the late edition come out?
About 2 o'clock.
Walt, what time was Sears killed?
Around 1.
Say. Yeah. The killer couldn't have gotten hold of that column at 1 o'clock. The papers weren't even out on the street.
Well, then how did he do it?
Only one man could have gotten that column before 1 a.m., the man who wrote it.
Jimmy.
He tore it out of the galley sheets. The proofs that are made up before the paper goes to press. Cello hired Herman, gave him the clippings, and then went to the party.
Oh, you're doing great, Diamond. Keep it up.
You're still in love with Mary Sears. You were jealous of Oliver, so you hired Oliver's boy Herman, figuring the cops would pin Sears' murder on Oliver. How am I doing?
You're a good liar and a rotten detective.
You knew I'd go to see Mary Sears, so you sent Herman to beat me up and make it look like Oliver was behind it. You tried to frame Oliver all along the line.
Why, you cheap little scandal sniffer. I'll fix it so you don't frame anybody.
Wait a minute.
All right, break it up. Come on, break it up.
Break it up. Hey, Walt.
What is it, Rick?
Bye.
Good evening, Mr. Diamond.
Evening, Francis. Miss Asherin?
Yes, sir. She's in the library. She's a little tired from last night. I think she's taking a nap.
Well, I'll walk on my tippy toes.
How about a glass of warm milk, Francis? I'm a little tired, too.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Well, look at the little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, her dreamland. Poor little tired baby. The evening breeze caress the trees tenderly.
Oh, Rick.
The trembling trees embrace the breeze tenderly. Hello, baby.
Don't stop.
All right. Close your really eyes. Then you and I came wandering by.
Oh, wonderful.
And lost in our sight were we.
Ricky.
The shore was kissed by sea and mist tenderly.
Ricky.
I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly.
Ricky, come here.
Your arms opened wide and closed me inside.
Ricky, come here.
What is it, dear?
Just this.
Here's your milk, mister. Oh, my goodness. Now, this time I refuse to blush.
You have just heard Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. Helen was played by Virginia Gregg, Lieutenant Levinson by Ed Begley. Also in our cast were Wilms Herbert, Hy Averback, Joan Banks, Parley Bear, and Sidney Miller. Music was under the direction of David Baskerville. Richard Diamond is written by Blake Edwards and directed by William P. Rousseau. Now, this is Eddie King inviting you to be with us again at the same time next week, when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. This program has come to you from Hollywood. This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
Crime does not pay.
Nothing doing, Dutch, period.
What?
Listen, Fatty. What I've got, I keep until I know it's safe to turn it over.
You are saying the Dutch Ziner, he isn't safe?
I'm saying you're not so bright if you don't know when the heat's on.
I know. No stupid Yankee tells Dutch when there is trouble. Just so. You give to me the diamonds. They will be safe.
Keep your pants on, Dutch boy. I'm making no deliveries till Ollie knows what's cooking. So, Smarty, you want your share of this delivery? You get on a train and come to Joe with me.
All the way I should go from Cape Town to Johannesburg. Somebody is crazy.
Yeah, crazy I am. Crazy like a fox. You want to keep your deal? You know what to do. Come to Joe and you'll find Ollie there and Runner and me. And the Sparklers. That's the story, period.
In the interest of good citizenship and law enforcement, we present Crime Does Not Pay, based on the famous Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer series of short subjects. In just a moment, you will hear Diamonds Trumped, starring Ralph Meeker. Now, Crime Does Not Pay, starring Ralph Meeker as Yank Sadburn in Diamonds Trumped. The story begins in South Africa. Up in the Transvaal, a good many miles from Cape Town and the sea, is Johannesburg, the city that's an odd combination of the modern and the frontier, where native and Boer and British mingle.
There in a district which looked more than a little like the towns of our own West in the days of the bad men was Keeper's Bar. This was a rendezvous for certain gentlemen of roughish exterior, but decidedly slick and sophisticated ideas on the subject of making a living. One of these gentlemen was Ollie Carstairs. To him, at his table, came another, known merely as Runner.
Ollie, okay to talk?
Why not?
Just wanted to be sure.
To talk?
Went so smooth it almost scared me.
You scared?
Oh, I don't care if there's a hitch once in a while, see, but when everything works perfect, I always think of that vacation I took stateside on account of that stoolie. That job went easy like two.
This one I planned, so it went good.
Perfect. How that dumb donkey ever got the rocks out of that mine, I'll never figure. Everybody gets searched on the way out and all that.
Yeah, I've been there, I know. And that monkey ain't so dumb.
Yeah. So, he turns the corner on a button of 7, see?
Yeah.
I gives him the high sign. He walks past like he don't know 1 from 2, see? I figures maybe it's the wrong character. Then, whoop! Right in front of me, this.
You opened it?
Natch. There's 5 big stones in there. They're gonna be buttes after they've been cut and polished.
Okay. The fella said 4, he gives us 5. We pay for 5 next time he does better. What's wrong, Runner?
Big ears. Next table.
So?
Yeah. So?
Think he caught anything?
He's practically crawling on your back.
Okay. Look, I'll take the bag. Finish your drink. Get up, walk around behind him. When you got him between us, whistle. I'll take it from there. We know he's there?
I think so, but he ain't budging.
Okay. Let's do it.
Here I go.
Okay, Big Ears, what do you think you're listening to?
Yeah, Snoopy, speak up.
You're crowding me, fellas.
Cool customer, ain't you?
You want I should take care of him?
I doubt if that'll be necessary.
I'll be the judge of that.
No doubt you will. Where do you want to hold court? It's a trifle noisy in here.
Yeah, he's asking for it.
You sure are, Big Ears. Start walking.
Which way?
The back way. Get moving, step it up.
I'm not too familiar with this place. Just a stranger in town, you know.
You follow Runner.
Hi, Runner.
This way, Snoopy.
Check.
Okay. Now, who are you?
Why? You want to identify my body?
Answer the question.
The name is Sadburn. My pals call me Yank. And tell Runner to stop shoving that piece into my ribs. I have no intention of making trouble.
Shut up. Speak when you're spoken to.
You heard the man, Sadburn. Now then, what did you hear back in there?
Only what I heard down below in Cape Town. You're in the diamond business. Your name is Ollie Carstairs. This is your boy, Runner.
Shall I give it to him now, Ollie?
Keep talking, Sadburn.
Well, there's not much else to talk about. It's obvious to anyone who knows that Runner has just delivered some goods, as the British say, from Kimberley. That you're getting a shipment ready, and I could be useful to you.
Yeah? Which way? Dead or alive?
Well, from my point of view, the answer to that one is obvious.
Look, so far you've been talking about me. Let me hear about you.
Ollie, you gonna let him...
Shut up, Runner. Let the man talk.
Ancient American custom, for which many thanks, I got out of the States on a freighter. And with a tip that someone was operating on this end in the business which I've had some small experience.
Small?
Well, I did 5 years for it when some stoolie tipped the dock boys and picked up the usual reward.
You know better now?
Better than to trust a stoolie? Yeah. Or anyone who might be a stoolie. Also, my cellmate was an old geezer who knew all the tricks. He taught me the best of them.
Why my business? Why not something else?
I'm interested in a big deal. I want real dough. Diamonds are big dough, but small enough to make easy handling.
Ollie, how long are you going to let this bum talk?
Look, this guy is a fellow American, Runner. Least we could do is let him talk a while with all the news from home. In fact, we might even buy him a drink.
I think I'd like that. It's much better talking in the light than out here in a filthy alley. But the drinks are on me, gentlemen. Shall we go back inside?
So Now the dumb monkey is happy with the dough I give him, and we got a beautiful deal.
Good enough, Runner.
When do I get to go to Kimberly, Ollie?
You don't. That's my part of the operation.
Runner knows the mine country, Yank. And our contacts know him.
Well, what happens if anything happens to Runner? Nobody lasts forever.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, and I ain't washed up yet, you know.
Okay, sorry. Just asking.
Yeah, you asked too much too many times.
Yeah, I noticed that too, Yank. Aren't you satisfied working here with me?
I want to do something. I want a decent share when the payoff comes.
You are an eager beaver.
Well, how about it, Ollie? Do I get something to do?
What do you know about Cape Town, Yank?
I can find my way around any place where they talk English.
Fair enough.
Ollie, you ain't going to send it.
I'm running this end, remember? And I think we need a new face in Cape Town. The place is lousy with stoolies. Now, Yank here's had some experience with stoolies, huh?
You can say that again. When do I go, Ollie?
Next couple of days, no rush. Now, Smitty's due in there tonight. He won't show up at the contact point for a day or two.
What do I do with Smitty? Give him the sack?
Not exactly. Smitty is one of the boys who operates over here. He's our contact with Dutch Signer.
I don't like it, Ollie. You're giving this character the whole layout.
Stick to your knitting, Runner. I said I'm running this end.
Okay.
Well, where does this Dutchman fit in?
He's second mate on a ship between the Cape and the State. Catch.
I catch. What's he look like?
Oh, so fat he has to have his belts made to order. But he's smart and tough. He doesn't touch a thing unless Smitty okays it first. So the day after tomorrow, you grab the train for the Cape, see? And find Smitty. You can't miss him either.
This joint changed management?
Not in 10 years.
New bouncer?
Obviously. Another drink?
Yeah, might as well. Fill her up again.
Right.
Heard a lot about the other bouncer.
That's so?
Yeah. Heard he was a little guy. Knew all the tricks.
He knew a few. Drink, mister.
What, you rushing me?
You ask too many questions.
I never asked the little guy's name.
I never noticed.
Heard it was Smitty.
You hear a lot. Where?
Up in Joe.
Smitty's gone.
That I never heard.
Few days ago, he had visitors. They came to call for Smitty. He won't be back for quite a while. If you know what I mean, friend. Oh, it's you again, eh?
Yeah. Thanks. Am I seeing double on one drink?
Well, I'd say no.
Then all of that down at the other end of the bar is just one man?
Just one man.
How does he get around? By trailer truck?
By ship. All the way to the United States and back. Several times a year.
Oh. Smitty had a friend like that.
I know. The fat fellow is interested in Smitty's other friends.
Would you care to bring us together?
We are together, my friend.
So I see.
It is very foolish. You ask about me, I ask about you. Because we both missed Schmidty. So we take a table and talk together, yeah?
We take a table and talk together? Yeah.
So that is the story, my friend. In your country, we make a delivery. The government agents, they pick it up. Also the delivery boy. They pick him up. Over here, Schmitty, he has gone away. Now, I think it is time we make a new system. 9?
If you want to stay in business, we do.
So. Good. So I know exactly how it will be done. You will give to me the little sack with the little stones. I will take care of everything.
Nothing doing, Dutch.
Huh? But this is stupid. Ridiculous. Ollie will not like this.
Nothing doing, Dutch, period.
What?
Listen, Fatty. What I've got, I keep until I know it's safe to turn it over.
You are saying that Dutch Steiner, he is not safe?
I'm saying you're not so bright if you don't know when the heat's on.
I know. No stupid Yankee tells Dutchman there is trouble. Just so. You give to me the diamonds, they will be safe.
I'm making no deliveries till Allie knows what's cooking. So, Smarty, you want your share of this delivery? You get on a train and come to Joe with me.
All the day I should go from Cape Town to Johannesburg. Somebody is crazy.
Yeah, crazy I am. Crazy like a fox. You want to keep your deal, you know what to do. Come to Joe. You'll find Ollie there and Runner and me and the Sparklers. That's the story, period.
Okay, Dutch, stop beefing.
Yeah.
Yank was right. We need a meeting. The Smitty's in the can. The last load is knocked off on the other side. For all we know, you tipped off the government boys for the percentage.
Me? Oh, you're crazy.
Hey, Ollie, the fat boy's sore.
All right, easy does it. We fight, nobody makes a dime. Easy now.
Yeah. Sorry.
The big job is getting the stuff into the States.
This is news.
Save it. What's on your mind, Yank?
Anybody here know anything about medicine?
Not me.
First aid, yeah. Also, once I fixed a broken leg at sea.
How about you, Runner?
Shut your trap.
I take it that means no.
You can take it and
Keep
do it.
talking, Yank.
Well, I don't know very much, but I do know this. That a heavy layer of fat can be a good hiding place.
This is an insult. You accuse me?
Not accuse you, Dutch. Just use you.
Wait a minute. I don't get this.
It's a cinch and beautiful. We send this shipment into the States in Dutch.
But you want me to swallow?
Who said swallow? See? Razor sharp and sterilized before I came over here. We boil the stones, see? No infection that way. We make a little slit. In they go. We patch it up. Dutch takes them out himself.
Nine! This is impossible.
Impossible? Nuts. Why, this is the neatest idea since the racket began. Nobody will think of touching that big fat belly of yours. Yank, it's great.
Great. It's not his belly.
I gotta hand it to you, Yank. It's perfect.
Nine. I get out of here.
You stay till Ollie says you go or I'll blow your belly off.
Use your head, Dutch. You want your dough, don't you? And I guarantee it won't hurt any more than a scratch. Ollie?
Take off your shirt, Dutch, and lie down. Shall we go in, doctors?
In just a moment, Crime Does Not Pay will continue with Diamonds Trumped. Now we continue with Crime Does Not Pay, starring Ralph Meeker as Yank Sadburn in Diamonds Trumped. Much to his own surprise, Dutch found that the business of using his person as a repository for uncut diamonds was barely painful. In fact, he made a few jokes about the sudden increase in value of himself on the hoof, so to speak, and then proceeded on his way back to Cape Town and his ship. Up in Johannesburg, the three conspirators at that end, Ollie, Runner, and of course Yank, waited anxiously for word of the result. It came in the customary form of the yellow cablegram.
It's here, Yank, Runner.
So what's he say?
Everything's copacetic, I assume.
Get this. Lost weight last night. Reduced but gained in other aspects. Large amount. Returning 4 weeks. Signed, Dutchman.
Yippee, we're rid. How can we miss?
Unless Dutch takes a 9-day diet.
Don't even think that.
It was a great idea, Yank. You're solid.
Thanks, boss.
But, well, it's the same old question. We flood the market stateside with these stones. We'll not only knock down the price, the federal boys won't stop at anything.
Not even Dutch's belly?
Not even his belly. But it's a new twist at any rate.
Want some other ideas?
Shoot.
All right. I figure it this way. There are two ways of getting at things like this. Either you find something new, or you go back to something so old that everybody figures it's so corny nobody would dare to use it.
I don't get it.
I do. Keep talking, Yank.
Look, we just pulled a good deal with Dutch. It was new. All right. Now the switch. The oldest gag in the world.
Now I get it. New to old. Nobody figured.
Check. How about, shoes?
That one?
He likes stashing the stones on their rubber heels and walking in on $1 million?
Exactly. And 3 or 4 other angles like that. We go to work now. Then when Dutch gets in, we're all set to ship him right back.
Hey, what you taking the soles off of them things for?
Nothing to it. A switch, to use your expression, on the rubber heels. The hollow part of a woman's wedgie.
Holds a lot more than the heels, too, huh?
Check. There. It's off. Now load it up. Only be careful not to mark the outside of the shoe. We'll have to seal the covering of the upper back to the edge of the sole, as if the shoe was new.
What's funny, Runner?
I was just thinking, can you picture Dutch waddling into port wearing shoes like this? Oh, brother.
Let's get the floor of this plane up, Runner.
It's coming.
Now, watch your nails. We'll have to keep them straight so as we can get the board back in the floor, see?
Yeah. It'd be great if they switched planes on us. This one stays in Africa.
I covered that. This is the only plane at the airport that'll fly in the morning.
Yeah? How are you so sure?
You'll be surprised to know how much engine trouble the mechanics are going to find when they test the other planes tomorrow.
What? Boy, oh boy, you sure think of everything.
Something is rotten, and not in Denmark, my friends. Something is very rotten.
Stop sputtering, Dutch, and talk straight.
What went wrong?
Every one of the stones from the belly, picked up from the dealers. Every one found. For what I take them in, eh? For what?
Something or someone is wrong someplace.
Maybe Dutch drinks too much. You've got a loose tongue when you drink, fat boy.
I do nothing. I get the stones where they must go. It's enough. Anybody says I am stool pigeon is liar. And I make him pay with knife. Understand? With knife.
There they are, fellas. See? Biggest lot yet.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
It's too many. No one can get in so many.
Why not? You're reducing Dutch?
9. It's just too many.
Maybe not.
Oh. Another idea, Yank?
Could be.
Ideas. And all the stones they are picked up.
Yeah, but not until after they get into the States. I think somebody's tipping the job on the other end.
What's the idea, Yank?
Look, we buy a car. A little English car.
And drive it home?
We ship it home.
9. Seat cushions is no good. This they know about.
All right. How about the bumpers?
What you mean, bumpers?
Tape to the inside of the bumpers, maybe?
No. Really inside the bumper. We hollow them out, cachet the stones, seal up the outside, and we even pay duty on the car.
Ah, it's crazy. Who'd we ship it to?
We take it ourselves.
Ourselves?
Yeah. On Dutch's ship. 3 Americans come home with a car they picked up in Africa. Simple and neat.
I couldn't go.
Trouble, Ollie?
Check. A small heist job some time ago. I broke out. I got away, but I go back, they grab me. No thanks.
Well, then Runner and I could go. 2 Americans return home and so forth and so on. How's about it? Want to go to the States again, Runner?
And why not? With all the dough we got waiting for us?
Okay, Ollie?
It's all right with me.
Yeah, maybe this one, it works.
Good enough. Look, we'll buy a car tomorrow, Then we'll drive it around a while and dirty it up so it looks like it's been in darkest Africa. And then all aboard for home.
Here they are. My 2 passengers for that car which in the hold has been.
Very good, Mr. Signer. This way, gentlemen.
Do many people bring cars back with them, officer?
We don't have to clear too many through. Lots of people still think American cars are the best.
Yeah, they're sure slick-looking American cars.
But this little one gets 30 miles to the gallon. More sometimes.
Not bad, but wait till it breaks down. Here we are. This is it, isn't it?
This is it. She's a beauty, you can believe me.
Every man to his own choice, I always say. Let's fill out the papers. How much does the car weigh?
Runner, do you know?
Nah, how should I know?
How about you, Ziner? Don't you check weight when you load a cargo like this?
9, only cubic footage. That's alles.
Then we'll have to weigh the thing.
Oh, where? Is this going to hold us up?
Scales at the end of the pier. Is the jalopy in shape to be driven?
Why not? Keys in the lock and all.
Man, the engine sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. Careful, watch those dollies.
That?
Why you weigh this, huh?
Drive right onto that platform if you don't mind.
You bet.
Cut the engine, please. Dave, check this baby jalopy, will you?
Right. Can't weigh much, half a pound, maybe.
Electric scales?
Could be. What do you get, Dave?
This I don't like. Not at all I don't like.
They're in the bumper, Marty.
Stand where you are, gentlemen.
Hey, what's the big idea?
This is foolishness. What do you mean by this?
You're under arrest and you're covered, so don't move, either of you.
Quite a shipment in that bumper, Marty. The X-ray shows them clear as a bell.
X-rays? You said you'd weigh the car.
Yeah, we gave it a complete physical examination. That's no scale. It's a setup for an X-ray machine. The car's impounded as evidence, and you two are under arrest. Glad to see you back home, Sadburn. Nice work. Very nice indeed.
A stool pigeon. A stool pigeon he was all the time.
So that's why the stones got picked up inside the country. You dirty double-crossing. Wait till Ollie hears. He'll have you taken care of.
No stool pigeon, gentlemen. Just an agent of the United States Customs.
What?
You'd better come quietly, both of you, as your friend Ollie did.
Ollie?
This you do not make me believe.
The police and Joe picked him up the day after we left. He held out some of the shipment on us, but they found the stones on him. He'll spend quite some time in South Africa, and then he'll finish out his term back here. You tried hard, gentlemen, but you didn't really think you'd get away with it now, did you?
Crime does not pay. Ralph Meeker, who was starred as Yank Sadburn in Diamonds Trumped, will be back with you in just a moment. Now here in person is Ralph Meeker.
For the kind of crime we've outlined in this story, greed is a great motive. But of course, it's not only organized smugglers who involve themselves with beating the customs. This law-breaking practice was considered fair sport by many otherwise highly respectable citizens. And they all caught, almost inevitably, caught through the same kind of clever operations, the use of the same kind of scientific detection you heard about a few minutes ago. So whether it's an old label sewed into a new fur coat, a bottle of perfume wrapped in a stocking and pushed into the toe of a shoe, or the kind of methods employed by Ollie, Dutch, and Runner, it'll be well to think twice. In fact, it will be necessary to think only once if what you think is the simple phrase, crime does not pay.
Thank you, Mr. Meeker. Crime Does Not Pay is written by Ira Marion and directed by Marks B. Loeb, with music composed and conducted by John Gart. Technical advisor is Burton B. Turkis. The events, characters, and names used in the story you have just heard are fictitious. Any similarity is purely coincidental. This is Bob Williams speaking.
we going to start emptying out that thing?
I figure we wait one more month.
I'm glad we're through.
Why?
To tell you the truth, I was getting kind of shaky at the end. I'm glad we're getting out while we're still ahead.
That's just the idea. Always quit while you're ahead. That way you can't lose.
What happens if she finds out?
That's the one thing I'm worried about.
Well,
for her own sake, she better not.
In just a moment, Counterspy, a program especially transcribed to help investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
They're here. L&M Filters. Newest, best, purest of filter tip cigarettes.
L&M Filters. Just what the doctor ordered.
L&M Filters give you effective filtration from a strictly non-mineral filter material. Alpha cellulose. Exclusive to L&M Filters and entirely pure and harmless to health.
Just what the doctor ordered.
The L&M filter gives you a light and mild smoke because the heavy particles are filtered out.
Just what the doctor ordered.
L&M filters give you much less nicotine. The L&M filter removes 1/3 of the smoke, leaves you all the satisfaction, much more flavor and aroma. These facts from the statement of Dr. F.R. Darkus, Director of Research for Liggett & Myers Tobacco Company.
At last, a filter tip cigarette with plenty of good taste. Buy new L&M filters in the striking red and white pack.
This Christmas, give the newest, give the best. L&M filters.
This is David Harding. Here is the latest official tabulation on crime in this country.
Each day, an average of 5,286 major crimes are committed. Among them, 1,144 burglaries, 147 robberies, and 3,141 larcenies.
Now, what does this represent in cost to you, the public?
Over $400 million worth of property stolen.
The middle of last month, right outside of New York City, in the bedroom of a home in a small suburban project, a handsome, well-built man bent his body back and forth on the portable rowing machine, unaware of his wife standing behind him.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Arthur.
2, 1, 2, 1.
Arthur.
2.
Can't you stop for a minute?
2. When the alarm rings.
Oh.
1.
Now will you listen to me?
Hand me the towel.
Arthur, please.
Okay, I'll get it myself.
Arthur, I've got to talk to you. It's about...
I know what it's about. Money. And there's nothing I can do about it yet. You know what I make? I give you all I can.
Arthur, I try not to complain, but I don't know. I just can't make a go of things this way. We owe everybody, and it keeps getting worse all the time.
Now, look, Sue, we've been over this 1,000 times. It's not my fault. I do the best I can.
But you can do so much better. You still act like a little boy. You got to grow up someday. I want you to be a man.
Now, look, there's nothing wrong with me. I've got a great possibility.
Of course you have, darling, but you're not using it. In the meantime, something terrible is happening to us.
So you don't have any new dresses?
It isn't just that, Arthur. Believe
You
me.
want me to believe you, and yet you don't want to believe in me. When Dan Hadley and I finish our invention, you'll have everything you want.
That invention. Another of your little boy's secrets.
You'll know what it is when it's completed.
I don't care anymore what it is. All I know is that you keep that closet in the basement workroom locked from me. Like you keep so much of yourself locked from me. That's what makes it so terrible. You shut half your life from me, and all I want to do is help you.
You can help by just waiting.
How much longer do you think I can wait? Arthur, you know what I wanted to do while you were out of the house this afternoon?
What?
I wanted to take an axe and tear down that closet door in the basement.
Oh?
And then I wanted to destroy, to chop to bits whatever it is you have in that closet.
Don't you dare. Don't you ever dare go near that closet.
You're hurting me.
Don't you ever dare have a thought like that again, do you understand?
Please, let me
do
go.
you understand me?
All right, Arthur, but let me go. Please, let go.
I'm sorry, Sue. Sue, wait. Someday you'll understand. What's in that closet is going to make us rich. Then you won't have to worry about bills anymore. And then you'll have all the clothes you want.
All right, Arthur.
That's Dan Hadley. I'll get it.
Hi, Aunt.
Come on in, Dan.
Oh, Sue.
Dan?
Sue's on her way to the movies, Dan. We'll see you later, honey.
Enjoy yourself, Sue. What's the matter with her?
Complaining about money again.
Look, why don't you break down and give us some extra cash?
You crazy? She'd want an explanation.
Brother, you're going to have an awful lot of explaining to do when we cash in on that basement closet of yours.
You mean when we finally sell our invention?
That's right, Art. When we put all that ice back on the market.
Well, we still have 3 more jobs to pull before we convert any of that jewelry into cash. Remember that?
I remember, Art. That's the agreement. Just 3 more and we're set for life.
Headquarters, Washington. To all Counterspy field offices. Special order over Mr. Harding's signature. All important data concerning jewel thefts will be forwarded immediately to Statistical Department for processing. This is A1 priority. End.
Sue?
Arthur, I just...
What are you doing down here? Didn't I tell you never to come down when I'm working here without knocking first?
I forgot, Arthur.
Sneaking down to the basement to see what I'm doing, huh? Trying to find out what's in the closet.
No. I just forgot to knock, that's all. I only wanted to tell you that Dan Hadley's upstairs.
Oh. Well, you should have knocked first. Don't forget again.
I won't.
Come on.
Got here a little early, Aunt.
It's okay, Dan. We can get more work in.
I'm ready to go.
You can run along now, Sue.
All right.
Honey,
Yes?
sorry I blew my top that way. Just on edge now that Dan and I are in the home stretch with our invention. Wish you could understand. Try, huh?
I'll try.
That's my girl. I'll see you later.
What was that about, Aunt?
I thought you were snooping to see what was in the closet. I made a mistake. Well, ready for my trial run?
Anytime you are.
All right, help me with this sofa. All right,
Where do you want it?
just a couple more feet to the left. No, this one. That's all.
What's next?
Move that armchair back against the wall.
Okay. This all right?
About a foot nearer the door.
Yeah?
Yeah, fine.
What about this coffee table?
Stays right where it is.
This is the exact layout of that living room, Art?
Exact. Only a smaller scale.
I gotta hand it to you. One visit to the Dowling apartment, and you remember the whole layout.
Dowling apartment was a cinch. The other two were tougher.
But not too tough for my boy.
We haven't got time for flattery, pal. Switch off the lights. I'll run through it right from the beginning.
We'll return to Counterspy in just a moment.
Better get out of bed, dear. You'll be late for the office. Breakfast on the table.
Oh, I'm in no condition this morning. Ate too much with the boys last night.
You know, every good wife should know about Eno for just such emergencies as this. It's truly amazing what gentle Eno may do for you when you overeat or eat food that doesn't agree with you.
Yes, just a dash of good-tasting Eno and a glass of water before retiring, and repeat it in the morning if necessary. That's all you need. You can say goodbye to acid indigestion, upset stomach, heartburn, and other symptoms of overacidity.
Remember, Eno's buffering antacid action gives you real relief over a long period of time. Helps you feel like your old self again. Why not get sparkling, good-tasting Eno today?
E-N-O, when you're feeling low, E-N-O. It's mild and gentle and good tasting. E-N-O.
Dan, this is Art. All set to roll on the Dowling job tonight.
Time the same as you said it?
Same, 10 on the nose. You pick me up at the corner of 49th and Elm.
10 on the nose. I'll be there.
Now remember, Dan, keep driving around the block.
Okay, but this ain't gonna be as easy as the Dowling job. Look at the size of that wall you gotta climb.
Will you stop worrying? What do you think I've been doing those physical exercises for? My health? Let's go, Dan.
How did it go, Art?
Sweet as candy.
You get everything?
You don't think I'd mess up our last job, do you? You bet I got everything.
Harding.
Peters, Mr. Harding. Braden just checked in from Bay City.
Oh, be right out, Peters.
How are you, Mr. Harding?
Well, a little the worse for wear, Braden.
Well, I can give Braden the rundown in the lab if you want to take a break.
Oh, thanks. I'm okay, Peters. Let's go. Peters, fill you in on any of it, Braden?
Only that I'm to be Central Control Agent, reporting directly to you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Well, first, Braden, I want you to see the chart of New York over on the wall there.
Uh-huh. Well, it's quite an elaborate setup to devote to jewel thieves.
Believe me, Braden, these are the most elaborate jewel thieves we've come across, and the most successful. Now, they've operated exclusively in the part of town marked off on the chart here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the area in which we've established our permanent security net. It covers only these 6 city blocks, but we're throwing everything into those 6 blocks.
Well, sort of narrows it down, Chief, doesn't it?
We're taking our cue from the thieves themselves. They've been successful in mining this area. There's no reason to believe they won't continue to work the same vein.
Well, I don't want to tell you how to run things, but,
Go ahead, Braden.
Well, you're not usually one to put all your eggs in one basket, Mr. Harding.
And I have this time. Is that what you mean?
Yes, sir.
This time, Braden, it's the only basket we have.
Uh-oh. Me and my big mouth.
Now, these numbers indicate doormen, elevator operators, and other spotters.
Specially detailed agents?
That's right.
Well, by the amount of numbers there, I'd say the area's pretty well covered.
I only wish I had 100 more agents to blanket it. Well, so much for coverage. Now, the operations and characteristics of the thieves, or thief.
You mean this is all the work of one man?
It's possible that the actual stealing is done by one person, a very agile, clever, and well-trained man. All the robberies have one factor in common. The premises were broken into through a window or French door. Peters, bring that exhibit over here, will you?
Right away. Take a good look at this, Braden.
Uh-huh. The thief's means of entry.
Mm-hmm. In each robbery, a circular piece of glass, such as this one, was cut out just below the latch. Then the thief reached through and unlocked the window, or French door.
Which isn't particularly new or clever. You said this man was clever, Chief.
I still say he is. Notice these pieces of cellophane tape stuck to the glass.
Yeah, so?
So the tape keeps the glass from falling after it's cut, practically invisible. After the thief was through cutting, he had only to lift the cut piece out, noiselessly. So, Braden?
So I was wrong. Clever is right. Tape-cut glass. Well, it certainly doesn't spell out anybody's name to me, Mr. Harding.
Nor to me either, Braden. But it's all we have so far to identify the people involved.
May turn out to be enough.
We'll find out starting tonight.
It's getting late, Art. Sue might come in at any minute.
Don't worry. She won't be back before 11:30. We'll be out of the basement by then. This one's done. What's up next?
Here. This ring's the last.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Be tricky getting that diamond from the setting.
Cut the band first, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There. This band goes with the other settings.
Be careful, that's stone. It's a beaut, you know.
Haven't chipped one yet, have I? There you are. Got a scratch on it. Put it on the scale.
6 carats.
Stone number 872. Cut diamond. Weight 6 carats. Dan, that does it. We're finished.
872 stones. Well, even at 25% of their market value, they're worth over $250,000.
Easy. You'll have the rest of those jewel settings melted down by tomorrow night, huh?
Yeah, sure thing. Same way in bars, right?
Yeah, of course. Nobody's going to identify a bar of platinum as once having been the setting for their diamond tiara.
Yeah, for that matter, no one's going to be able to pick out unmounted stones and say for sure there is.
All right, help me put this stuff away.
Hey, Art. When are we going to start emptying out this closet?
I figure we wait one more month.
I'm glad we're through.
Huh?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, I was getting kind of shaky at the end. I'm glad we're getting out while we're still ahead of the game.
That's the idea, Dan. Always quit while you're ahead. That way you can't lose.
All right, thanks. Nothing positive yet, Braden.
We've certainly lost a lot of time, Mr. Harding. 10 days at it, and no results at all from our security net.
No robberies either. Well, that could be a good sign.
You really think so, Chief?
Really? No, they're probably just laying low, and in the meantime, we're tying up our facilities and men.
There was only some way to make them move.
Well, Peters and I have been working toward that end. Yes.
I have Mrs. Rogers with me, Chief.
All right, Peters, please come in with her, will you? Thank you for coming, Mrs. Rogers.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Harding.
Peters, a chair for Mrs. Rogers, please. Mrs. Rogers?
Thank you.
Mr. Peters explained the situation to you?
Yes, indeed. And I'm very flattered to have an opportunity to cooperate with the Counterspies. I was only saying to my husband the other day, everybody complains about law enforcement. So few are willing to help it.
Then you understand the importance of this particular job.
I certainly do. Our apartment has been robbed so many times that my husband suggests, jokingly, of course, that we install turnstiles at the windows to make some money from the heavy traffic.
Well, that's the main reason we called on you, Mrs. Rogers. You're well known as a target for jewel thieves.
And you live smack in the center of the theft area, as I explained before.
And you want me to be robbed again?
I want you to help in every way possible to make robbing your apartment a very attractive matter.
All right, Mr. Harding. I'm very willing to help in every way possible.
Look, Art, will you cut that rowing machine just for a minute so I can talk to you?
I can hear you, Dan. Besides, I gotta keep in condition for our next job.
But, Art, you said we were through. You yourself said we should quit when we're ahead of the game. We got enough. Why take unnecessary chances?
There's no chance in this. It's a sure thing. Showed you that item in the paper about that Rogers dame. She lets her jewels lay around like they were cigarette butts. She just bought over $100,000 worth yesterday.
Oh, we have enough in that closet, all we need. In 2 weeks, we'll start cashing in. Art, will you listen to me, please?
I'm listening.
Now, you know as well as I that the area is thick with federal agents. They're just waiting for us to make a move. They know everything about us except who we are.
Glad they know so much.
You're glad?
Makes our job easier for us. Makes it possible for us to pull them out of the neighborhood. Now, sit down, relax, will you?
Hey, Art, you said you could pull the feds out of the neighborhood. How?
How? The old 1-2, that's how. 1, 1.
Braden, control point to Harding Field Office. Action report. 3 suspicious loiterers picked up this date and released after questioning. No other contacts to report. End.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Harding.
You're not interrupting a thing, Peters. Braden just radioed in his regular report. Still not a single contact.
And there won't be any.
What do you mean?
T-type just came in from Cleveland. Jewel robbery pulled there, definitely the same as those pulled here.
Oh?
No doubt about it. So our setup turns out to be a complete loss.
Not a complete loss, Peters. Not a complete loss.
Back to Counterspy in just a moment.
Valentine is like beer with flavor that will hold. Valentine is a wonderful beer because it tastes good when it's cold. And Valentine is fine beer. You can chill it all you will. Valentine is the deep brewed brew with the flavor that chill can't kill.
You know, friends, no matter what the weather's like outside, it's always winter in your refrigerator where you chill your beer. And that's why Valentine beer is deep brewed, to hold its flavor even when you serve it ice cold. The fine, full flavor is brewed so deep in Valentine beer that chill can't kill it. Every cool, sparkling, refreshing glass just brims with flavor.
'Cause Valentine is fine beer. You can chill it all you will. Valentine is the deep brewed brew with a flavor that chill can't kill.
See Valentine & Sons, Newark, New Jersey.
This apple pie is terrific, Sue. How about another piece, huh? That's it, a good big slab, huh? My girl.
Here.
Boy, I'm hungry. Hey, what's the matter with you, anyway?
What could be the matter?
Well, you haven't said a word to me since I came home, Sue.
What's there to say?
Plenty. I told you why I went out of town, didn't I? I told you it looks like that man out there's going to buy the invention.
Yes, you told me.
Still haven't any confidence in me, huh?
At this stage of the game? Arthur, you're never going to grow up unless something drastic happens.
Well, don't you worry. Something drastic is going to happen. Very short time, you'll see.
Oh,
Just
Arthur.
you wait and see. In a very short time, everything's going to be so different for us. That's Dan. I phoned him to come over. Wanted to tell him the good news in person. I'll be right back. Cut a piece of that pie for Dan, will you? Come on in, Danny boy.
Sue home?
In the kitchen.
I saw by the papers that your Cleveland trip worked out all right.
Didn't I tell you it would? The Counterspies are now closing up Cleveland tight in the drum.
Leaving our old neighborhood wide open.
And we're walking in there tomorrow night to pull the Rogers job.
Well, the way it turned out, you were right, Art.
Sure. Come on in the kitchen. We'll celebrate with Sue over the coming sale of our invention. Let's go, Dan.
Hey, you came out quicker than I expected. You have any trouble?
No trouble at all. Just went as smooth as ice.
You get everything?
Uh-huh. All in this bag. That Rogers dame sure is careless with her jewels. Doesn't deserve to have them.
You want me to hold on to the bag the same as the other times?
Yeah. Bring it around to the house tomorrow night and we'll go to work on them.
I'm glad it's over. This is our last job out. Definite?
I told you yes, didn't I? Now relax, will you? There's nothing more to worry about. What could go wrong now?
I've been waiting for you to come home.
You said you were going to bed early.
I couldn't sleep, Arthur. I don't think I'll ever be able to sleep again.
What's wrong with you?
You?
Oh, you're not going to start that again, are you?
Oh, this will be the last time.
I told you in a little while everything is going to be different.
And I told you there'd have to be something drastic to make you change.
There will be.
There already has been, but I never knew it until tonight.
Knew what? What are you talking about?
That closet down in the basement.
What about it?
I couldn't stand it any longer. I thought it'd be the one way to bring you to your senses. I took the axe.
What?
I smashed that door and I was going to destroy whatever you had in there.
I told you never
Only
to...
it wasn't an invention. It was gold and diamonds.
You're going to be sorry for doing that.
I couldn't be any more sorry than I am now.
Be surprised.
I know what you are now. All the time I thought you were just a boy who never grew up. Oh, you're a man, all right. Lying and dishonest. Arthur Wilton, a common, ordinary criminal. My husband, a thief.
You're the only one who knows that outside Dan.
Don't be too sure.
The police? Did you call them?
No, I didn't call them.
That's right, Wilton.
Hey, you...
We called your wife right after she had smashed in the closet.
Credentials?
Counterspies.
That's right.
We've been looking for you for a long time, Wilton.
But I went to Cleveland. I thought
That's exactly what we wanted you to think.
Your friend Dan Hadley is waiting for you outside in the patrol car.
All right, Peters, take him out.
Right, Mr. Harding. Let's go, Wilton.
I didn't know anything about it. Not a thing. Till tonight.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Wilton.
You're sorry. I don't think you realize what it means to be sorry. What it really means.
In a moment, a word about next week's Counterspy case. And now here's a mutual note for you.
Say, when you feel sluggish and headachy because you need a laxative, chew Phenamint, the delicious chewing gum laxative. It's wonderfully different. Phenamint is different because you chew it, and different because it removes mostly waste, not good food. You see, Phenamint does not work in the stomach where food is being digested, does not take away a lot of the good food you need for energy. Doctors know that Phenamint works chiefly in the lower tract where it removes mostly waste, not good food. You feel fine, full of life and energy. So do as millions do. Get delicious Phenamint, F-E-E-N-A-M-I-N-T, for yourself, for your children.
Say, what do you do when hamburgers give you acid indigestion?
I Chews and feel better fast.
Chews, the chewing gum remedy?
Right. Chews, C-H-O-O-Z, for almost instant relief of upset stomach, heartburn, other acid indigestion misery. Chew minty antacid chews. 10 cents.
Next Sunday, December 27th, over most of these stations, Mutual will present a special broadcast of Counterspy, immediately following the professional football championship between the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions. So be sure to be listening next Sunday.